What's poppin'? Welcome back to the F&S Podcast. We here.
What's going on?
We got a full slate today.
Yeah. It's getting to the juicy part of the season.
Yeah. I see some people already eliminated and all that. So
Yep. So this is gonna be we gonna hit on a number of different things going on around the league with this review that we got going on. Because probably the next time we gonna do a deep dive like this is probably when the playoff matchups is set. Then we gonna have all of that going on. But for now, we a little bit past the third quarter. Well, actually, no, we almost about 10 games past the third quarter of the season. So this is the home stretch where teams is trying to solidify playoff spots and whatnot. The teams are still fighting for it.
I got the playoff picture pulled up. So in the West, I'm looking at the brackets right now. So what they got the brackets so-called somewhat put together, but not really. You know what I'm saying? But so far in the play-in, the West, you got the Kings, the Suns. Whose logo is that?
The Clippers.
Oh, they.
It looked like
Wolves.
The
Wolves. They must. I didn't realize they changed it up like that. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
So, who do you think any of them gonna fall out of that?
Out of the play-in spot?
Yeah.
I wouldn't bet on it because when I look at who's behind them, the threats to do it is Dallas and Portland.
Okay.
Now, if Phoenix keep falling off the way they've been falling off, like all of this stuff, like everything about what's going on with them says blow it up.
I mean,
like completely blow it up. But if I was to give any team a chance just off of some fighting hard and we trying to get it kind of stuff, it's probably going to be Portland since they got the young cats over there that's want to try to prove, they're still out there trying to prove themselves, but they, 2 games behind?
Yeah, they can. Well, with Dallas being, I seen a report that they said Dallas might have to start forfeiting games.
Right. Yeah, because they ain't got enough players available.
Right. So, I mean, just get them G League dudes, man. You don't need to go through all that. Just go ahead and bring them G League dudes in real quick. And you know what I mean? I would not recommend forfeiting games, but whatever.
Well, I mean, okay. Well, since we made mention of Dallas, let's go ahead and hit Dallas.
Yeah.
Nico Harris.
Yeah. This is a bad. Like, look.
Does he have a job next year?
So if I look at this on some objective stuff, I can't. If I'm trying to make sense of this, this seemed like a personal issue why he got traded. Personally, if you asked me, this seemed like a personal issue. So
he talking about Luka, to be clear.
Yeah. My bad. Yep. So it's like a personal issue because there's no good reason to trade, even though it made, I guess you want to say, roster sense. It
looked good on paper initially.
Like, if everybody's healthy,
it looked good on paper.
You know what I'm saying? Then technically, if you want to be technical, you know what I mean? That team was put together well from point guard to center. You know what I'm saying? But you traded Luka for someone who was injury prone. Kyrie's injury prone. First of all, to be honest here, and then Anthony Davis is out. I mean, come on, fam. The evidence out there. And then, Clay, I mean, he
injury prone.
He not the same Clay, you know what I'm saying? So I don't see why you would want to get, and then you just went to the finals. So I don't see how you.
Why would you blow this up?
You just went to the finals. You supposed to let that give it another couple runs before you even. But even so being, you don't trade Luka away. You trade the stuff around him.
Right.
So he noticed this looked like one of the worst trades. I don't know, man. It's a bad trade, man. Luka look comfortable in LA now. He look comfortable talking to Breezy and everything. I'm like, dog.
Yep.
They done bumped up to number 3 in the West, fam. Like, come on, stop playing, man. Like,
And right now, him and Austin Reeves is holding it down right now. But
my thing
Nico,
is this, not even to cut you off here, they had to approve this. So I want to say, yeah, you should fire him, but he had to. You can't make a move like that without consulting the front office, dog.
Well, if it went down the way they said it did in the press conferences when they first did it, how it stayed between him and Rob Pelinka, and they didn't let nobody else do it because let him say it, he didn't want nobody to talk him out of doing this. If it went down like that,
when did he say that?
It was in the press conference. Yeah,
he said he didn't want nobody talking him out. He said those words.
Yeah, yeah. He said, yeah, it was just going to stay between them two.
I know that part.
And it was funny the way Rob Pelinka said it in their press conference because he was like, he just threw it out there on some joking stuff. Like when they was talking about like potential trading, and he was like, yeah, maybe you can trade for Luka Doncic, and he was like, yeah, okay, and he was like, no, you serious?
Nah, man, that's crazy, man. Like, I mean, because Jason Kidd wasn't looking to,
That's what I kept on saying. The way Jason Kidd looked, he was looking like, I ain't asked for it. I ain't want this. Like Jason Kidd, like. It's like this can mess up the whole organization. Like you already heard about what Dirk Nowitzki said. Like Dirk
on vacation or something.
Yeah, Dirk ain't went on no vacation. He had to postpone family vacation because he was cut that hard.
Man, like you don't. Nah, man, that's just not. You don't do nothing like that because Luka, even if you say, I mean, this is the thing. Like I look at Kevin Love, right, for an example. Kevin Love to me was better when he was heavier.
Yes.
He was better. Point blank. I mean, got down low boards and still shot the three. He lost all that weight and he kind of just was a whole different player. So
right.
I'm not saying Luka should stay, like, I would say turn at the muscle because he knows how to carry the weight. And his style of play, the weight works the way he plays because he play a physical style of play. So you can't do that trim down. Now, if you style that up, then okay, but it's not like Luka played like this dude was getting busy. I don't understand.
You said it already.
I don't understand.
You said it already.
What?
He took them to the finals.
Yeah, you don't just.
What other sign do you need? Like he took you to the finals. Now, did he play good in the finals? No, he got clamped up. Like he was looking really bad. And then in this matchup that they had against Boston in the regular season, he didn't do too much to clean up that reputation either. Like he looked a little bit the same. But this is still Luka Doncic that we're talking about here.
But we're not going to pretend like Luka is some defender either.
No, he ain't no defender. And in this league, in this current league, how many guys do we got that's not really defenders, but they offensive impact is like, like Steph Curry is one of them. He ain't no defender. He can't guard nobody that's of his caliber at all at his position. He can't guard nobody, not a soul.
Right.
But like it's just the fact that this is where teams can learn from what they did. Okay, Luka may not play defense. That's fine. Surround him with guys that can do that. So that way it can be masked. But, at the end of the day, this guy, Nico Harris, he probably just lost not only this job, but any other potential job in the NBA. Because his name is going to forever be tied to this. Like anybody that's going to be like serious about trying to win, whether it be NBA, Euro leagues, anything like that. And when they ask for that interview and look at your resume and they look at the things that you did, and they going to see traded Luka for Anthony Davis. He ain't gonna put it on his resume, but if they do their homework about everybody that they interview, they gonna find out about this.
Yeah, I mean, it's just
because if Dallas keeps them, I can't be mad at Jason Kidd for being like, I'm stepping down. I can't be mad at Kyrie for being like, I want to trade.
I mean, they'll be healthy next year though. So why would you? Well, no,
They'll,
not Kyrie. No, Kyrie. He probably done.
He gonna be missing like a good chunk of the next season.
Probably to like January. He not.
And then you're gonna be throwing your whole hopes and dreams on Anthony Davis shoulders.
Nah, I mean, no, it was just a bad. It was a bad look.
The worst trade in NBA history.
I don't know. I got to look at them history because that Paul Gasol and Kwame, you can probably say that was probably bad too.
I mean, yeah, it was bad, but
like, come on, dog.
Paul Gasol.
I like Kwame Brown too. I'm not trying to like throw shade. I'm just saying, Paul Gasol and Kwame Brown fan.
Paul Gasol was not to the status of what Luka is in this league.
Paul Gasol.
I get what you're saying, but think about the league that it was at that time. How many guys at Paul Gasol's position was better than him in the league Paul at Gasol that time?
Kwame Brown.
No, I would have never have done that.
All right,
but I'm just trying to get you to understand the difference of.
I know who was available at that time, and
yeah,
I'm not about to. I'm still. There's no way in. You can't talk me into that trade.
Right, but what I'm saying is, who was Paul Gasol in that league versus who was Luka Doncic in this league?
He was the face of the Grizzlies.
The face of the Grizzlies, that's fine. But who was he when you talk about
Paul Gasol wasn't like there's not many people that's in Luka Doncic's position. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying. Like when you look at that league, like who was the top 5 players in that league?
Nah, but in this position, he was a top power forward though. He wasn't no garbage. He wasn't no second fiddle guy here.
I'm not saying that he was second fiddle, but we know. Okay, so he's at bare minimum, he was 4th at his position. At bare minimum.
That's Paul Gasol.
Because Duncan, KG, and Weber was still in the league at that time, wasn't he? And then Dirk was in the league at that time. Rasheed Wallace, the
whole point is you traded and you pretty much assisted LA, propelled them to the title.
Well, I ain't gonna say they making it to the title yet. They do look good.
I'm talking about then. I ain't talking about, but even then, they're going with LA being number 3. Politics is gonna be involved in this.
I'm gonna say this.
It's gonna be involved.
I'm gonna say this about LA. When you look at their team matchups and now, because you seen what happened with that Denver stuff, like that Denver stuff, that story completely flipped based on that last game. Like they don't got the same guy to push around. They don't got no, dumb what's my man name? D'Angelo Russell over here taking back. Like they don't got that element there no more. And so you see they won comfortably without Bron.
That's true, but Denver did get worse.
But even with the Denver being the way they was, when they had Anthony Davis, they was beating them almost with no problems.
I'm going to say this, and this is what's going to be the case, and I know it is. Once the playoffs hit, whistles will be favoring LA.
Well, I'm going to say just on some basketball stuff, right? Just on some basketball stuff. Now you can look at the Lakers and you can see every matchup that they would play against, they would have the top 2 players on the floor, potentially, between Luka and LeBron. When you look at Oklahoma City, Shea, he's benefited a lot from baiting the refs and blowing the whistles. But outside of Shea, there's no scary player there. You look at Houston, there's no scary player there. You look at Denver, they got Jokic, but that might not be an issue anymore because with the Luka move. Memphis, they got Ja, but is that going to be an issue for Luka? Golden State with Steph and Jimmy Butler, they playing really good. But is that going to be too much of a problem that Luka and Bron can't handle? I'm not saying that it is, but right now that's the slot matchup. The Clippers, Luka been owning the Clippers for a while now. Minnesota, I mean, we all like Anthony Edwards, the type of player that he is, but we all know that this team got worse, and then Julius Randle messes things up. Sacramento, who takes them serious? Phoenix, ain't nobody worried about them. Luka owns them too.
I don't even know how you mentioned the playing the teams.
Well, I'm just saying this is a possible. Just because they in the playing position, it's possible. It's possible. But essentially, what I'm saying is on some basketball stuff, the Lakers potentially have the two best players to step on the floor out of any matchup that they're gonna have.
Look here, people. The fact of the matter is the whistle is gonna be in LA's favor all playoffs. I wouldn't want to face no doggone LA in the playoffs at all. I wouldn't want to deal with them. I wouldn't. I'm serious. I don't want no smoke, dog, because you facing them and the refs, dog.
Look, and I'm not saying that what you're saying.
Perfect, and it's perfect for the LeBron documentary, dog.
Well, I'm not saying that you ain't got a valid point here that and that won't happen. I'm not saying that won't, but if you just even eliminate just that, if you take that out the picture and you just talk basketball matchups, there's no matchup that favors the other team playing against the Lakers because they're going to have the top two players on the floor. And then with the way Austin Reeves is playing, I know you ain't much of an Austin Reeves fan, but he's been backing up that position of being the third guy.
I haven't said anything negative about this guy.
I know you haven't, but based on our past conversations, I know how you feel about him.
It is what it is, man. Like, it is what it is.
Look, man, Austin Reeves been killing it as a third option.
Salute to that brother.
But, pretty much what I'm saying is on some basketball stuff, when you talk player matchups, they would have a chance to beat anybody that they play against. Now, where they might have a fault in is in a 7-game series against good coaching that has a big guy that can control the game. That's where they might have issues at, because Houston, they got depth and they got Sengun. Denver, they don't got the depth, but we already know they got Jokic.
To be real, with LA, they hot in the regular season, yes. But like you said, 7-game series. And I'm looking at them. Luka plays 0 defense. 0.
Yeah, that's true.
So therefore,
how many of these dudes do though?
But I'm just saying that's what I'm saying here.
Because Jokic don't play defense.
But that's what I'm saying here. Check it
0.
out. But check. You look.
Shea play defense.
If anybody got some coaching sense, look at that Boston series. This dude don't play no defense. LeBron don't even play defense for real. You know what I'm saying?
But he has a defensive presence in the game though, because you can't say that dudes when they be running in transition and they see LeBron behind them, they don't.
You can't be scared to attack the old man, dog.
Ain't nobody scared to attack him. It's because that's to be honest.
When
you look at
how often is your 40-year-old self gonna chase me down too?
Right, but how often are you gonna have that opportunity to?
I mean, you gotta run the floor on them.
That's the thing.
The Thunder can run the floor on them. The Thunder can run the floor on them, dog.
The Lakers got players that run the floor.
Man, your two main best players can't run the floor that long.
All they need to do is run the floor enough to still be effective in transition.
The
while
Thunder
still
should
being
be able to outrun. Just on some young stuff alone and just penetrating the basket, they should be able to beat them.
But what did the Pistons used to say, that Pistons team with Chauncey and them, when they was talking about all them teams, or even the Spurs, when you get in the playoffs and we slow you down,
they're not built like them.
Because we know that that's what you want to do.
Yeah, but you talking about cats that play defense. Down. You talk about teams that play half-court defense.
Well, not just half-court defense, teams that don't feel like they need to run with you on offense.
Because they play half-court defense. Both of them teams play half-court, slow. They slow the game down, and on top of that, they can stop
you know what the Lakers' defensive ranking is this season? Because the Lakers have actually been playing good team defense this season.
That's fine. But running the floor messed that up. Your two main players cannot run the floor. They can't run it that long. LeBron cannot run the floor that long, and he's gonna come off that groin injury allegedly. Whatever they claim, whatever. I'm not gonna fall into that. He has a groin injury, so he's coming back from the groin injury. Okay, I don't care whatever juice they say he on, or whatever the case is. Cool, that's fine. But the thing is, a groin injury is a groin injury. Luka has a calf strain still. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Them cats cannot run the floor like that.
Right. But
so
look,
you pressure them. They gonna get some games, cool, because it's Luka and LeBron. But once you get over the names here, you know what I'm saying, and run the floor and use your youth like you supposed to, you should be able to beat them in a 7-game series.
So who here?
The Thunder better be able to go to the finals.
Better be able to go to the finals?
No, they have to go to the finals.
This is the same team that, wasn't they number one last year?
But what did I say last year? Last year, they didn't have the experience.
Right.
Y'all number one again, y'all better go to the finals. You know what I'm saying? Y'all have to go to the finals. No, I'm serious, dog.
I mean, look,
I'm just saying MVP.
I'm just saying
y'all have to go to the finals. This finals are butts for them, dog.
Shea shouldn't get the MVP if you ask
me. They keep saying that. I'm just saying if they're saying that Shea's the MVP, whatever. You know what I mean? That's what they saying. They probably gonna give it to him on some like he should have got it before type stuff. You know what I mean? But
he should have never got it before.
But they keep saying that. So whatever. I'm not here to say
the MVP of this league is still Nikola Jokic. People don't want to give it to him because it's like the repetitive thing. We just don't want to give it to him again. But
I'm not saying yeah or nay. I'm just saying that's what these cats are saying. So if that's the case and he get that MVP, they have to go to the finals, dog. First of all, y'all got to go to the finals anyway. Yeah, y'all number one team in the West.
Let me ask you, who do you trust more? Who do you trust more, Shea or Luka?
Are you asking me on some basketball stuff or on some politically correct stuff?
I'm asking you on some basketball stuff.
Because basketball wise, Shea not weak. You know what I'm saying? Like,
who do you trust more
for consistent play?
Who do you trust more in the big games when things matter? Who do you trust more?
The evidence says Luka. I'm not about to sit there and deny
the evidence been saying Luka.
But OKC has a nice team. They're not number one for no reason.
You're right. I'm not saying that you're wrong.
Now, but like their roster all like that?
We seen number one teams lose before.
Yeah, that's cool.
A whole bunch of number one teams lost. They could be another one.
Yeah, but the thing is, with Luka and Brian, right? I get it. It's Luka and Brian. You know what I'm saying? Brian not the same player he used to be. He got the IQ. But he's not the same guy. It's impossible for him to be. He's not the same guy he used to be. He does not strike fear. For me, my own 2 eyes, it's like people. He's doing what he's doing because he still got that aura on him. But if you just play this dude, put the respect aside.
I agree with all of that.
Man, listen, he's not the same guy, man.
I know he's not the same guy, but like, dude's being blinded by his aura. I'm not sure about.
They still friendly with this guy. What are you so friendly with him for? You know what I'm saying? So the thing
everybody is friendly,
but
everybody is friendly. That's not just isolated to LeBron.
Yeah,
thing.
But the thing is, man, like he still got this aura, man. You play this dude with some aggression and lack of respect, dog. Then you could beat LA. Cause
it's not about beating
like
Bron
that.
no more.
You know what I'm saying? They're not spooky like that.
It's not about beating Bron anymore.
No,
it's about being able to beat Luka.
I'm looking at this. Luka is not spooky on defense. Run this dude into man. Listen, attack.
Yeah, but attack
this guy because he's not gonna stop you.
Oh, okay. So same story with Steph Curry. Attack him on offense, right?
That's fine, but we talking about Luka here,
right?
In LA.
But I'm using that as another comparison point. The offensive impact that Steph Curry has can sometimes neutralize all the normal basketball stuff that would apply to everybody else. The same kind of principle can be with Luka and all the other great players, because your team playing well with a whole bunch of good to okay players, if he just is great on offense, that can neutralize everything that you're talking about.
The only 2 cold-blooded players on this team is Luka and Brian. If folks want to give it to Reeves, cool. I have no words for that. Fine. You know what I'm saying? All the rest of these dudes,
They on the same level as
sweating.
everybody else.
I'm not sweating.
Shea.
My heart not racing seeing them. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, well, take Shea off of Oklahoma City. Is your heart racing on anybody else on that roster?
They better role players than these dudes.
They on the same tier, if you ask me.
You know what I'm saying? They
on the same level. They on the same exact level.
Dort and all them is better than these dudes, man.
Dort is just I guess you can call him a defensive player, but he ain't no offensive player. Like he can't score.
This is the problem with the quality of the players in the league, because none of these guys is frightening. None of them. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking at these roster.
On neither roster,
these dudes. That's it. They out of here.
Neither roster, neither one of these dudes. So I mean, the same thing you saying about LA, we can say about every other team in the league. Can say that.
Look, man, the Thunder. Look, LA. Will I be surprised if they're in the finals? Absolutely not. I'm not blinking an eye if they're in the finals.
I would be more expecting that come at you and fight you like a dog kind of mentality stuff. I would expect that to come from Houston before I would expect that to come from Oklahoma City, just because that's the type of person Ime Udoka is.
That's cool. They on the
and that's how he gonna and that's how he gonna coach that team.
Now Houston, you know, Jabari Smith Jr., I like him. Steven Adams, you know, he a veteran. Reed Shepard, we even get Clock yet?
Nah, I think he got hurt.
You know what I'm saying?
I think he got hurt. So I mean, but like,
man Thompson is nice, dog.
Both of them Thompson brothers can ball.
You know what I'm saying?
Like it's like that's what I'm saying. Like Udoka,
Van Vliet's a champion. He knows how to play.
Udoka has that in him to where he will put that, like he will talk that dog into the players.
Wait a minute. This Rockets team not weak, actually.
That's why I said the Rockets is the one, man.
They can run LA off. Man, listen, dog.
Yes, that's why I said they got a big man. They got Sengun. Yeah, the Lakers don't got no real big over there. They still working with Jackson Hayes.
If they go to the finals, it's some fluke stuff. But the thing
it's not necessarily no fluke stuff.
Dog, like I said, Rockets better be able to beat LA. If I'm looking at this, no, I'm serious. They should be able to. Amen Thompson. As athletic as he is. Jalen Green. Jabari Smith Jr. Van Vliet's a veteran.
Right.
A point guard play. Luka gonna be running the ones and LeBron and them. So but still.
That's the point.
Vliet, you know what I'm
That's
saying?
the point. That's the point.
Adams a dog down. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
But that's
on, son. Like, we ain't doing this.
But you just going around to the same point. Look, it's like playing spades. The Lakers got the big and the little joker in their hand, and everybody else got the ace and the king and the queen and the jack. You could say Austin Reeves is the 10 of spades because he got something to say in the game too. Right. But like the Lakers got the two biggest cards that's gonna have the biggest impact on the game that can take out any matchup on a good day. They have to play well like that, of course. But the only team that I can see that can cause Luka to look like how he did against Boston is Houston, just because they got the size guys that can play some defense. Jabari Smith can play some defense. We already know Thompson can play some defense. So that's the roster. Oklahoma City, I mean, look, what superstar has a problem with Lou Dort? What superstar has a problem with Lou? Nobody. No superstar has a problem with Lou Dort. Not when they show up to play. If they come in there thinking that stuff is going to be sweet and easy, then yes, of course, that's when he can look good. But like, what superstar has a problem with Lou Dort? Nobody.
The Thunder.
And Chet Holmgren, I mean, like, yeah, he back playing whatever.
I'm not mentioning that guy at all.
But now the thing with Oklahoma City that they got going for him is having Hartenstein there. Hartenstein being there allows them to have a big that can compete with anybody that at his position.
Look, at the end of the day, I hear you. I mean, you're not saying nothing wrong here, but what I'm saying is this. LA should not be able to. Nah. Nah, man. Like,
well, I'm just telling you. When you look at what's been going on, even without LeBron in the lineup, what's been going on between?
They don't need LeBron. Honestly, they're gonna need him.
They're going to need him. Yes, of course, they're going to need LeBron. But what I'm saying is, right now, without LeBron in the lineup, and even if you look at before LeBron was in the lineup, between Luka, Bron, and Austin Reeves, that was about 80 points right there alone.
Is it a championship? Is it a championship?
I'm not saying that they're going to win a championship. Because technically the Lakers are still playing with house money. If you look at it from the aspect that they wasn't supposed to get Luka Doncic. Luka Doncic wasn't supposed to be in this picture. Luka Doncic was not supposed to be in this picture. You couldn't have told anybody at the beginning of the season that Luka Doncic was going to be wearing a Lakers uniform by the end of the trade deadline.
So anywhere they land, this is a successful season, no matter high end, right?
Yes, this is, well, if I was a Lakers fan or if I was in the Lakers office, I won just by getting the future because I got Luka. So now my window is staying open real big. So I'm going to try to win this year. But if I don't win, I'm all right because I know I'm going to be in the same conversation next year because I got Luka. And who knows what LeBron does? I really don't care what LeBron does. He can retire and whatever. Him and his son can go. It doesn't matter to me. You know what I'm saying? But let me get one off season to draft around this Luka Doncic and one off season to maneuver players around Luka. Because now I'm building my team around Luka. It's not about Bron no more. Forget him. I mean, we appreciate you for being here. We appreciate you for being here. And for the time that you're going to be here, that you can contribute to being great, we're going to appreciate that. But we building this around Luka. So whatever you give us right now, we appreciate. I mean, this is kind of, it's not the same. But, when you look at like the football and you look at the Cincinnati Bengals,
right.
When they went to the Super Bowl, they was playing with house money because they got the elements to keep getting there.
Yeah.
So now they just have to build around. Now we see that they've been slipping on the defensive side of the ball, but the offensive elements are there to scare anybody because it's hard to score in the NFL. Even against bad defenses, it's hard to score again in the NFL. Mm-hmm. But when you got arguably the best quarterback in the league, arguably the best wide receiver in the league, arguably the best.
You put him up there?
Who? Burrow?
Yeah.
To me, Burrow is the best on schedule pocket passer in the league.
I mean, I like Joe Burrow. I was asking because I don't hear,
To me,
they don't mention him with the I don't be hearing his name get mentioned with my
the only reason
like that.
Only reason why is because his team success has not been the same as theirs since the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
But when you look at Joe Burrow led all quarterbacks this season in numbers, period. Passing yards and touchdowns and all of that. Like he led them all in that. So it's not like they didn't get there because he wasn't balling out. He was balling. But unfortunately, the NFL is a sport where if you play offense, you got to come off the field and let the defense do what they do. So, it's not like basketball where you play in both ends. Yeah. But to get back to basketball though, like it's like from the Lakers perspective, it's kind of like that with the Bengals. Mm-hmm. My window is now, I got like a 10-year window of possibly winning another championship just because I got Luka Doncic out the deal. I went from having no chance at all to having a chance.
Now, the thing is with LA, because the talent is just so, even if you look at college, how would you build that squad around? Because to be honest, Dallas surprisingly went to the finals. I was hoping they went, but it's like, oh man, they kind of, So
Well, once again, this could be a perfect example as to what can happen this year and compared to what did happen last year. Right? You looked at Dallas last year.
Yeah.
They was a straight team, and then they made that one move, and they got a couple of pieces. They ain't great players, but they solid role players. Gafford, PJ Washington. They drafted Lively, and Lively came on. So these ain't guys that are the best players to offer. They're just good at playing something. And you paired them with two dominant players, because last year we could have said the same thing about the Mavericks. Any matchup that they was going to play against, you can kind of say that they potentially had the two best players on the floor.
Well, that's what we were saying with Boston.
Right. So now you look at it from an LA perspective. It's the same story. It's just not with the Gafford deal.
And we seen what happened when it came to Boston and Dallas. The better team play won that.
The better team, because they had the dogs at the spot that would be guarding them.
And that's my concern. I ain't gonna say my concern because I'm not no LA guy, but it's like, well, they have to play on some flawless stuff the whole time, which I don't see happening. Well,
here's the thing. How many teams got the kind of defensive players paired with the talent on offense to do what they did to Dallas? How many teams got that? How many teams got 2, 6, 7, 6, 8, 6, 9, whatever they are, wing players that can give anybody a hard time? Then you pair that with Drew Holiday, and then you pair that with Kristaps Porzingis acting the fool the way he was in the final. How many teams got that? Boston is the only team that has that. Boston is the only team that has that.
So if LA met, if it was Boston and LA, which would be money making, who wins that this year?
Fully healthy, everybody?
Yeah.
I'm going with Boston, because that means they got a fully healthy Kristaps Porzingis, fully healthy Al Horford, fully healthy Drew Holiday, and then you got Derek White, Peyton Pritchard coming off the bench acting a fool. Now it'll be closer. It'll be closer because, as good as Kyrie is, he's still not LeBron when it comes to showing up in that moment, because we seen what he did last year in the finals. And Bron doesn't have to score 30 to be impactful. So I can see it being closer, but I still give that to the Celtics, because it's like, if Luka can't, it's going back to Luka. All the fingers is pointing at Luka now, right? If Luka can't have an answer for how they play him defensively, then he's not. He has to have the right defensive players around him that can buy him time to figure it out in the series, which is what Steph Curry has had his whole career, because he's only a one-way player. Paul Pierce with the Celtics, when they won their championship and they was back in the finals, he had the right guys around him, because Paul Pierce ain't no defensive player neither. So it has to be something like that, which is right now the Lakers roster ain't built for that right now. The Lakers roster is like, oh, we was able to get Luka. Oh shoot! Well, let's see if we can get somebody else then too. I mean, we might be able to do a little something, because Vanderbilt is back. Vanderbilt, he's playing well, doing Vanderbilt-like things. I don't know if Cam Reddish is ever going to come back. I heard one of the dudes that I know that's a big-time Lakers fan, they let Christian Wood go because I think Christian Wood's NBA career is over.
Why? Injury?
I don't know. We got to look into that. I think it is something related to that. But yeah, I think something about that. Right. So it's like two main players that would be nice to have for them, they don't even have available to them. They went and they signed this Alexa Lynn guy or whatever it is. Alex
good,
Lynn,
brother.
And he's straight trash.
You're not good, man.
He's straight trash. He's straight trash.
He's standing there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But with his size,
he's straight trash. He's straight trash.
You should be able to throw it down low to him. He give you a couple hooks. You know what I'm saying? Give you a couple post moves. He should be able to grab some rebounds or something.
Straight trash. He's straight trash.
Why they sign him and not Dwight?
Like I said, I think it's politics.
Would you would have signed
Dwight? I would have rather had Dwight.
To me.
I would have rather had Dwight. But I mean, be honest with you, I would have been looking at, because we remember guys, and you know what I'm saying? I would have been looking at like all them dudes that the league didn't show enough love to, that they kicked them out. I would have been looking at Montrezl Harrell. I would have been looking at Jahlil Okafor.
Well, Jahlil, did they cut him in?
I don't know where he's at. I don't know where he's at.
He was with Indiana just a second ago.
Oh yeah? Oh wait, I don't know what the deal is then.
Yeah,
I need to look back up.
Indiana, yeah, because he was actually getting he actually debuted in the game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but the problem is, even if he debuts, are they gonna give him the rock, or are they gonna be like?
Jahlil Okafor is nice, dog.
I know. Like if you put Jahlil Okafor in this league and run the offense when he's on the floor, dump it down, let him. Ain't nobody stopping him.
He can average over 20 points, dog.
Easily.
Because he's soft. He's soft touched around the rim. He got post moves. The dude is strong too. He actually looks
right
than he did before.
Right.
So I mean, I'm like, man, I don't know, but you know how this go. But
right.
His game not flashy enough. But I don't know. So is LA coming out the West? Yes or no? Yes or no?
I don't know, man. I ain't.
Come on, man.
I ain't jumping out the water like that. Like
they got the two best players. Yes or no?
Right. That just means they have a chance. That don't mean that they will. That just means they have a chance. Because right now, the teams that the team that would cause them the most issues, I think, is Houston. Now, the one thing that they got over Houston is that LA as a team has more playoff experience than Houston. Like when you just
Houston got the same problem that Thunder got. Well, no, because at least Van Vliet, however anybody feel about Van Vliet, he was there. He know the process to go to the finals. So therefore, he's still some value because he was there. It's kind of like a coach, like how Ty Lue and them is. Like you don't view Ty Lue as all that, but he played with all these great dudes. You know what I'm saying? That's probably how he's coached like that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So Van Vliet seen the process. He still can give some advice. He's seen how to get there. He was there. He was, you know what I mean? So don't think that don't play a factor in this either.
Right. I'll say this. I'll give you the teams that have a chance to come out the West, in my personal opinion.
All right.
The teams that have a chance to come out the West. I'm going to say Oklahoma City just because they're number one. They have a chance to come out the West. Mm-hmm. I do think LA has a chance to come out the West. I'm gonna even say Memphis has a chance to come out the West. I'm gonna say Memphis. I mean, because Memphis, they got the playoff experience. It's not like they haven't been in playoff games. And Ja, we seen his impact on the game, and they got size too. So they got size, and they got the youth to run. They well coached. Taylor Jenkins, over there, they have just as much a chance as anybody else does. Denver, I don't think they have a chance because I don't think they deep enough. Like they might get to the second round and whatnot.
Wouldn't you say that same thing about Memphis?
What?
They're not deep enough.
No. Memphis got players. Memphis got players, and they well coached with the players that they got. So I would give Memphis a chance. Right. I would say because because here's the thing. You want to say Denver has a chance just because they have Jokic. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, you don't know how healthy Jamal Murray is going to be. Mm-hmm. Then you don't know how consistent Michael Porter Jr. is going to be.
Right.
And then you got the Russell Westbrook issue. As much as we love Russell Westbrook, as much as I love Russell Westbrook, we all know sometimes he wants to throw the Superman cape on when it's really not the time for that.
Yeah, I mean, he wouldn't. Would he do that with this squad though? He passed that. He can't do that nowadays. I mean,
you think he passed that? I mean, I don't think
he didn't do it with the Clippers.
I'm gonna say this much. I mean, well, first of all, the Clippers wasn't nothing to. Don't nobody care about the Clippers.
He didn't do it there. I mean, LA, they didn't really let him do that. He haven't done that.
I don't know. No. When he was at LA, like he did have the green light to play his style of play. And Denver, he's been having the green light to play his style of play. Yeah,
but Jokic,
but like what I'm saying is Denver has given Russ the green light out of necessity because they don't have nobody else over there on the roster because they've been letting good players go. Like this is how you get back to the finals and win them. Don't get it, but
do you think it's a possibility? Listen, we already seen crazy stuff. So you think it's a possibility that with Denver not making improvements, that you can eventually see Jokic in LA at some point with Luka? Do you think that's a possibility?
I mean, I guess I have to say yes now. I mean, I never thought I was going to see Luka there. But, I mean, since Luka is there, I guess, but like.
Because why would you want to stay in a situation like this?
Well, once again, going back to my theory on them foreign guys. Like, you hear Jokic talking.
The Nuggets been getting worse per year.
You're right.
Little by little, no improvement.
Has Jokic showed any sign that bothers him?
I can't tell or not, to be honest.
Because Jokic, even when they was winning, and they was winning the championship, he's like, now we get to go home.
Right, but I'm just saying though, like, I mean,
he obviously doesn't care that much. He obviously does, like
because I would be trying to grease the wheel I'll be working on this guy.
Yes, me and you, we would be out of there. We'd be like, look, y'all can't keep doing this and expect me to be.
Yeah, I mean,
we would be out of here.
I'm just wondering because it's like the Nuggets, and eventually they're gonna end up messing around and being playing team. I'm not kidding.
They already on the clock because Jokic is, how old is he? 32, 33?
He that old?
Yeah, he's something like that. They already on the clock. They already on the clock. Let me look at it just to double check to make sure.
Yeah, they're gonna have to start because at the end of the day, they're gonna have to because.
Oh, he 30. He 30.
Still, but
yeah. So I mean, like he probably got what at playing at this level. How many more years you say he got? What?
I mean,
5 max.
He don't play at the athletic level, so he can play for a while.
Right, but
like Tim Duncan.
Yeah, but to play at this level though,
he got to have a team around him.
Because I mean, even without having a team around him, he's been playing at a high level still.
He can still play at a higher level with an advanced
going into
age.
how late though?
I mean, he could do that. He could probably do it in his
I say 35. 5 more years.
He played like he's 35 now.
Right, but he's 30.
So I mean, he don't. It depends on style of play. It's hard for me to say because
and then like he's not in the shape that like a LeBron is.
Would you say but Tim Duncan played at a high level in his advanced stage.
Right, but Tim Duncan wasn't bringing the ball up. Tim Duncan wasn't running the floor like how Jokic does when he has the rock. Like Tim Duncan was strictly half court.
Well, if he would have to, in order for him to do it after 35, he has to lose some weight.
Which then he will lose some of his strength.
You know what I'm saying? He had to, if he's gonna have to play longer, he's gonna have to change his style up anyway. But see, that's where, you look at your future and be like, okay, if we want to keep him, we got to build right now, like get some young dude, like, because you want to start that transition. So
with him being 30, I'm saying 35. I'm saying 35 years old, he can still be playing at this level, potentially being one of the best in the league. In 5 years, do you think Denver can build something around to where they can pull another title out of that?
Nah, unless you trying to get somebody who you look at as, because this point, you suppose at this point right now with Jokic, I'm about to say Doncic. At this point with Jokic being 30, you supposed to be transitioning over to finding the future right now while he's still doing his thing. That way he come in and Jokic can step back a little bit, you know what I'm saying? And then, you know what I mean, he drift off to the number 2 option.
Right.
So you supposed to right now be getting somebody that's supposed to fill that seat now so you can maximize your championship options. That's what you're supposed to be doing. Not riding this thing. You know what I'm saying? So okay, we got the championship out of you, the 3 MVPs. Okay, now we starting to get the guy that's supposed to come in and be the next face. While you kind of like how Reggie Miller and them. Because Reggie, when Reggie with the Pacers, Jermaine O'Neal was the one, right? When he was there?
Jermaine O'Neal was the last days of Reggie, yes.
Yeah, so Reggie, he was still Reggie, but that was Jermaine O'Neal's team. You know what I'm saying? And things like that. You know what I mean? It's supposed to drift off. Like how LA did. Well, by accident, how they did.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
LeBron can sit back. Like, okay.
That's what I'm talking about, maximizing that window. See, Bron been able to get the kind of rest that he's never been able to get for his whole career.
Yeah. Yeah, Luka doing all that.
Maybe except for Miami. When they got the team. But him having 2 other ball handlers on the floor that is trustworthy, that can also score, helps him out a ton.
Well, he never played with somebody with the likes of Luka, who can pretty much run the offense.
Right. Which is technically Kyrie was supposed to be that, but Kyrie's not no real.
Kyrie can't run offense. Right. I like Kyrie, but he's a one-on-one player.
Right.
D-Wade can't run no offense. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Luka's the only dude that he played with that could literally give me the rock, dude, and go over there and I do this.
Right.
And Brian, like, all right. You know what I'm saying?
So he can chill. He can chill. Matter of fact, if I'm the Lakers, if I see they keep playing this well like this, I might tell LeBron, take as much time as you need to get that straight.
Let Luka get this his team. Let Luka get his confidence. I'm not worried about Brian at all. Just like I'm really not. Like, you know.
Well, I mean, I'm only saying that from the perspective of if you really think you can win, which is like if you the Lakers, which is like my thought process going based off of everything that I see right here. They got just as much a chance as anybody.
Like you said, at this point, they're in a position no one thought they'd be right now. So at this point,
they playing with house money.
There's no pressure here. So whether you win or lose, you know what I mean?
Right, they playing with house money. So you done with the West, move to the East?
Yeah. I guess we done with them. Ain't nobody else to talk about in the West, I don't think.
Unless you want
Kevin Durant. Is Kevin Durant where is he at best fit at? Because he's gone.
Kevin Durant is like one of those one size fits all kind of players. You
see him in LA.
I used to feel that way a long time ago, and I'm not sure if he will. Like I can see, like I used to feel like him and Bron was gonna be teammates by the time they both retire.
I would say this: Durant, go retire in OKC.
Well, it's the perfect setup for him. That's what they missing.
Remember, I told you this like a year and a half or two. Go to OKC, man.
Right.
Like, go back to the crib.
Mm-hmm.
You could just shade.
See, but
you know what I mean?
See, but like KD so sensitive. He gonna think about what everybody else gonna say about him.
Going to OKC, that shouldn't be a problem.
Well, it's the only reason why it's gonna be a problem is because it's going to be similar in the sense to what he did with going to the Warriors. He's just gonna join the best team.
Nah, this ain't, because the thing is, you went to Steph and them. This team it seemed like they need somebody like Durant. And that's the crib.
Right.
That's where you made your name at. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You go back there for your last couple years and retire there.
If he goes there while OKC is like this, they winning the title.
Go there. I mean, I don't think, because the thing is, I think that, Durant made a lot of dough. I think he can negotiate a deal to where he not, or a trade that makes some sort of sense to where it's like Phoenix just need to blow all that up anyway. You know what I'm saying? Just rebuild.
Yeah, but Bradley Beal over here talking crazy about having no trade clause and whatnot. So it's like
how long is contract up? I mean, how much longer he got?
Let me look that up.
Because you holding people hostage, man. Like that this is all his fault. You know what I mean?
It ain't his fault,
bro. He holding them hostage.
He definitely is holding them hostage
because you still get your money wherever you go.
Because I feel like had he would have waived the no trade clause, he would have been traded this season.
Yeah, and you still getting your money, fam. You know what I'm saying? Like, you still getting your paper.
So he's got 1 year and a player option. So technically 2 years.
They can't buy that out?
I mean, if they want to, I guess. I mean, but you're looking at over $100 million in 2 years.
You wouldn't buy that out to get him up out of there?
That's $100 million, dog, in 2 years.
He's chilling there?
I mean, he ain't gonna be chilling. He gonna be playing. Look, I'm gonna get the hardest. Look, Tom Thibodeau, come over here. Run him to the ground. Run him to the ground. Make him beg to get traded.
Would you trade Booker?
Would I trade? I mean,
y'all rebuilding, dog. You about to be in purgatory. The Suns about to be hit, dog. Like they about to be hit. You know
Let me see. I don't know. Hold on 1 second. Let me see something. Because Devin Booker is 28 years old.
I'm saying, man.
Devin Booker is 28 years old. Let me see something here. He's 28 years old. Oh, and they just signed him to extension. Devin Booker got 3 years left on his contract.
He about to miss the playoffs for like the next few years, dog.
If they keep what they got together, yeah. But if they they over here, I don't know, man. Like Orlando already showed that Bol Bowls has a climax, and so it's like ain't no point in putting a whole lot of faith in Bol Bowls.
Who's the GM in Phoenix, bro?
Isn't it?
Is it still James Jones?
I think it's James Jones.
Is termination required here? Because fam, this team is all jacked up, and y'all was in the finals.
Well, technically, because Chris Paul, when he left, no, he never put on a Phoenix jersey.
He did.
No, he did put on a Phoenix jersey.
He was with Monty. Remember, that's when we went to the finals.
Yeah, that was when they went to the finals. Yeah. So, I mean, technically, James Jones has done his job fairly well. Like, he's built the roster that went to the finals. This year he has a roster that, because Monty, did Chris Paul ask to be traded away?
I don't know. I would think not if he went to the finals.
And then they had Mikal Bridges over there. So I mean, because it's the thing that like the mistake that these GMs be making, man, is they be thinking like they be acting like they ain't got the money. Don't you hate that? They be acting like they ain't got the money to pay the good players.
Well, you know how that go.
They be acting like they ain't got the money. Like that's the
baseball.
thing.
Baseball will pay you.
Right. And baseball don't make nearly as much money. I don't know. Do they?
No, baseball's like the high dog. Mm-mm.
No, I mean, like, as far as a league is concerned, like, how many eyes is on baseball in comparison?
They make a whole lot of money, fam. I don't know.
Well, I know the NFL, they be tripping off of that crap, and the NFL brings in the most money.
Yeah, but it's all about how, you know what I mean? Like, baseball is more so of that thing. Right. But either way,
it's global. It's global.
That's sport, you know what I mean? So they get paid that for a reason. You know what I mean? But,
right.
They can afford to pay more, but they just won't. You know what I'm saying? It's what it is. So, Devin Booker, if I'm him, unless you want to lose for the next few years, fam, or for the rest of your career, that's potential. Honestly.
Well, when I think about the landscape of the league, right? Yeah, he's 28. So now. If I trade Devin Booker, I got to get a haul back. Like, I need young players and draft compensation. You know who I'm thinking about would be a perfect fit for him to go to?
Oh.
He gets traded to the East and goes to the Pacers.
Devin Booker?
Yeah.
Yeah, but they lose all their depth. So would it really? Or would you be back losing?
It wouldn't be all their depth, because how many young players do they have outside of Halliburton that is highly sought after? Like, they got some young pieces that could be role players, but nobody that's sitting here capable of being a superstar or anything like that.
If Phoenix not trying to trade him and he requested, Phoenix is going to be some a-holes when it comes to negotiation. So they're going to want everything.
Well,
they don't want.
I don't know, man, because so it's that fine line, right? As a general manager, you need to do your job. Players need to play, right?
Right.
But is it worth it to stand on business to do your job to keep a disgruntled player in your locker room that could potentially damage the rest of the team?
You know how arrogant some of these dudes is, dog. They'll do
it.
Know that. You know they'll do it. Pat Riley do that, man.
But I'm asking you, is it worth it to stand on business on that? I'm the general manager, you the player. I do this, you play to keep somebody that's disgruntled.
No, I wouldn't, because my scout team be that cold. So, I'm never gonna sit there. For me, I'm never gonna sit there and mortgage my future for some dude who don't want to be here. Nah, because I could find there's a lot of people that want to be in this league that got skills.
Right.
And I will do my job. That's my whole motto. So all that means nothing. So personally, because
or maybe they could trade him to Miami, and they can get some young players out of that. Like, they can get Hawkins, they can get Jovic, and some draft picks. Because when you trading away Devin Booker, if he demands a trade, how many teams has something to offer that you're going to want back in return that's not young players and draft picks?
What would you trade for him? How about that? What would you give for him? How much of a haul would you give to get him?
Well, first of all, if my roster is intact enough to where I feel like we just need we need a two guard that can score a little bit more efficient.
Yeah.
That would determine that for me. Because if I don't have that, I don't want Devin Booker. If I don't have that, I don't want Devin Booker.
But with your roster being intact, you're going to have to break some of that up for them.
It depends on what they want. So if I'm Orlando, let's just say that. Mm-hmm. If I'm Orlando, I'll give up Franz Wagner. I'll give up Franz.
That sounds like an unfair deal.
It's going to be unfair. It's going to be unfair. Because, how many times they say it, when you trading away a superstar, you never really get even compensation in return.
That's true.
So, it's going to be unfair. I'll give you Franz, and I'll give you a first round pick. It's not gonna mean nothing. Look at these dudes coming out the draft. Have at it, because we already know for the NBA, if it used to be, if you was picking in the lottery, you was gonna get somebody cold.
Yeah, these dudes ain't built like that. You got,
and now it's like you got to have 1, 2, or 3 to have a chance to get somebody cold.
Yeah, this talent different. You know what I'm saying? Like this is, and then I don't mean it in a good way.
And then like, how many times can you count on your hand where teams is fortunate where like LA, where Dalton Connect falls to them? I think, what was it, 11?
They don't even use them like that.
They use them. They use them now. Yeah, him and okay. See, that's why I know you ain't been watching, but that's all right, because there was a game with no Luka, no LeBron, and they was on the road in Denver, and Austin Reeves and Dalton Connect was showing out.
You said no Luka, no LeBron. They had no choice but to use them.
Right, but even when they've been on the floor, Connect been getting minutes, because what does Luka want around him? He wants shooters around him. He wants somebody that when he got the threat of not being able to get the shot that he wants, he wants somebody where he knows where they at so he can kick it to him. And we know Dalton Connect, he's that kind of shooter. He already the best shooter on the team. So it's like, if he just drives a little bit and that help comes, and because Luka been kind of showing his behind when it came to them passes, man. Like, he been throwing out all kind of passes.
He can pass with Dallas.
Right, but like some of these passes that he done that I seen since he put on the Lakers uniform, it's been kind of like on some like Magic Johnson, Jason Williams-esque type of stuff.
I mean, I'm not gonna say it's a shot. I'm not gonna say it's a shot. I mean, he can, he's shown he can, do that.
But like, so just to get back on Devin Booker though, like, if I'm Orlando, I'm looking at my team, and they could actually use somebody like that. Like, Paolo and Franz is kind of the same guy. We need, they kind of the same guy. They played the same style. They both,
that's not disrespectful to Paolo.
No, it's not disrespectful to Paolo. Paolo is better than him, but they're the same style of guy. They're both trying to get down there. Now, Franz is a better exterior shooter. Paolo be shooting stuff. Paolo be shooting threes like he just trying to fit in. To me, sometimes.
Shoot no threes.
Well, he can shoot some threes, but it's like, don't hunt for it. Shoot it if you open for it.
I would say this about Paolo, because Paolo, he seemed like he trimmed out a little bit. Got a little trim. You know what I'm saying? I'm seeing some things from him that I'm liking. I don't like the threes. I would say shoot that midi. You know what I'm saying?
Because he got that all day long.
Shoot the midi. Don't be messing with it. Because I still don't think he as good as a shooter as Carmelo Anthony is.
No.
But I don't like the threes, man. Just keep it in that elbow area.
Well, that's why I'm saying, like, you don't have, like, Paolo is the kind of guy that, okay, you shouldn't be hunting for a three. Like, you shouldn't come down looking for a 3-point shot. Now, if during the course of a play being ran and you're open for a three, then shoot it. But don't be looking for it like, oh yeah, I'm about to come up and pull up and do this. Like, I'm not a fan of that. But that's why I say it looks like he's trying to fit in with the league.
Well, since we talking about Paolo, we might as well transition over to the East. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, Phoenix, y'all hit. You know what I'm saying? Y'all about to be, man. But
just to get my team out the way, we don't got no chance. We suffered too many injuries, and losing Jalen Suggs, that sucks for us. Because
number 8,
because Jalen Suggs, he is that energizer defensive presence on the perimeter for us. We need him to be able to beat any team in the series that has superior guard play.
Right.
which is right now that's the Cavs. I know we just beat them the other day, but that was like in the tongue and nail biting kind of game. You know what I'm saying? So like I'm not going to bank on us being able to do that. Jamal Mosley has been coaching his behind off, dealing with all these injuries. You lost Paolo for a long period of time. You lost Franz for a long period of time. Mo Wagner is out for the season. Jalen Suggs is out for the season now. So it's like he been coaching his behind off. I just don't think we got enough, man. Like, I like what Anthony Black has been doing, though. Like, Anthony Black, like, he ain't no stat sheet stuffer, but he plays the game pretty good. Like, I can see him getting better, and he's gotten better shooting to where it's like he ain't afraid to shoot that shot if you leave him.
Would you keep your roster the same as is since everybody hurt, or would you be trying to make some moves this offseason?
I'm still trying to make moves because we still need a guard. Like, I like Jalen Suggs. I like him. Like, I didn't like him at first, but like over the course of time, I'm seeing his defensive impact on games. Like, this dude can single-handedly wreck a game just with his intensity, his pressing the ball, aggressiveness, and just bothering every guard that he's guarding. Like, he can do that. He get a little overconfident in his offensive game, but his defensive game is up there. So him paired with Paolo and Franz and Anthony Black, the way he's going, I like what he's doing. We still need another big, and we need another real two guard. We need a real two guard that can shoot it from. That's why I said Devin Booker would kind of be perfect for this kind of thing, and I would give up a Franz Wagner to get Devin Booker. We could use another center because I'm not a fan of Wendell Carter III. I'm not a fan of his. Jonathan Isaac being back though, boy, we played
solid to me.
We played the patient game with that dude because he ain't this is his first time playing basketball since the bubble.
Yeah, Jonathan Isaac. I mean,
he legit defensive player, dog.
Jonathan Isaac been solid. You know what I'm saying? Like, from what I've seen from him, he been solid. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know, to me, you know.
But, yeah, I mean, I'm still making moves if I could. I'm still making moves. Like, I'm looking.
Target. Who would you be trying to aim for that's realistic?
The easiest target, I think, would be the guys coming off of losing teams that don't sign extensions. And I'm thinking about Anthony Simons. I'm thinking about him. Anthony Simons would be like
ain't he on the block anyway?
Well, I don't know if he is or if he ain't, but Anthony Simons would be the guy that I would look forward to. You know, to be honest with you, CJ McCollum would do good for this team.
You would want him still?
For the cheap.
I know you.
For the cheap. For the cheap.
Have the most glowingly thing, you know what I mean? Like,
for the cheap, because CJ McCollum, like, his veteran presence would do good for that locker room, I think.
I mean, I like CJ McCollum personally. You know what I'm saying? I think I honestly feel like he's underrated.
I liked him more than Dame on Portland.
I can see why you would say that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm not going,
cosign. Go ahead. That's all right.
No, it ain't that. I mean, that, I like, personally, to be honest, on some real stuff, I like CJ McCollum's game more so. You know what I'm saying? I feel like he got more in his bag than Dame got. I don't care what nobody say. I think so. You know what I'm saying? The way he's in and out, step back, mid-range, he drives better and all that.
Right.
I mean, not what you're saying is not wrong necessarily. I just, I mean, I think that was shown though. So I mean, whatever. But CJ McCollum, like, would he want to go to a team? Well, are y'all that young at this point?
We still a young team. Like, I think the average age on our team is like 25.
Cause y'all was pretty alright last year. I was just hurt. I mean, yeah, I guess I could see CJ McCollum going in there, making some sort of a difference as far as some leadership type stuff. You know what I'm saying? Still giving you a little something here and there.
Right. I mean, because at this point, he's not going to be heavily relied upon. He doesn't need to start. Suggs can still start, and he can come in on like some 6-manish type of stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't turn him down. I wouldn't turn him away at all, especially if you want to come.
For the cheap, yeah. That's why I said for the cheap. Like I ain't paying you no max or nothing like that. Like
he ain't no man. Has he ever been a max player? You know what I'm
them days in Portland, you could probably make an argument for it. Like them early days in Portland when he was carrying them to beat the Nuggets in the series, then you could argue that he was a max player back then. But like outside of that, no.
Yeah, the Magic. I was looking at Paolo. He got better. I just wish he shoot better. That's it. That's my only.
Well, he just needs to stop shooting so many threes, and I don't think that's going to change. Though I think just the way the league is going with how they pushing stuff, you know, he. Now, one thing I did notice though, like when the game is tight and we need a bucket, and Paolo knows that, he goes to that mid range. Like
they can't stop him down there. Though.
Right. That he goes there with the quickness, and it's like he get whatever shot he want. And
Apollo, he be playing bully ball, and he been mad aggressive lately. It's like,
right,
good dog.
Yeah,
crazy people and everything.
Yeah, but let's move on to the Pistons, though.
I'm not surprised, man. I'm not surprised. I mean, I've been saying this. You know what I'm saying for the last couple of years. I'm like, we not trash, man. We not trash. We need to be coached. I still like our team better beforehand. The roster we have now, we doing what we doing, but
it would have been nice to have this with
in the world. You know what I'm saying?
Marvin Bagley and James Wiseman.
Yeah, man. Like the roster is cool. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not mad at the roster. I know JB Bickerstaff's a good coach. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why he got fired from Cleveland anyway. That's crazy talk. But whatever. You know what I mean? I guess it has something to do with Donovan Mitchell.
Maybe, I don't know, but whatever the case, Cleveland is happy with what they doing as of this point right now.
Yeah, I guess. But during the Pistons, I like everybody is mad aggressive. You know what? It's like Detroit. The whole Detroit have identity because you got the Lions.
The Lions is tough.
You know what I'm saying?
Tough and aggressive.
And JB Bickerstaff. Some of that Detroit then got up and he you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. He mad aggressive with the coaching. We got Isaiah Stewart, the founder.
He coaching like he got something to prove. Like Cleveland messed
the way
up.
They did him bogus, to be honest. So I mean, I would expect he has something to prove. You know what I'm saying? To show him prove that because you know how it is. You know what I'm saying? When you get fired like that, that's not good. That means you bad with players, and then that means and then you black too. You know what I'm saying? So you know how that go. You know what I mean? So you don't want to, so he's doing a good job. I mean,
and Cade is
Cade is I expect this because you supposed at this point be doing this, man.
Right.
Now, I don't know if I'm supposed to necessarily be. You supposed to be doing this. You was the number
first overall.
You supposed to be doing this. This is what you supposed to be doing at this point. So I can't sit there and be like, oh no, you supposed to be doing it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Literally. So I mean, I said the roster is fine. I mean, I like our roster before. Personally, I think if we'd have had JB Bickerstaff with the roster beforehand.
Yes. Yep.
But
Wiseman
I'm glad
and Bagley and the boys with Duran coming up.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm. In the playoffs for sure. It says it by the standings. We secured a position. So.
As it stands right now, the only team that it would take them like going on a losing streak to lose it. But like the only other team that's threatening them, and I feel like they a sneaky sleeper team to play against because kind of like what you said about Detroit earlier is how they playing now.
Yeah,
Atlanta,
no easy win, dog.
And Atlanta's team, like they is the definition of what you just said. They full of young dudes. They run, athletic, and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
And they got Trae Young at the helms over there, and he over there.
I want to deal with. To be honest, like dealing with some Trae Young with the young, dog. That's rough. Cause he can shoot too. Like that's the thing. Like you got a dude like that. Mm-hmm. And you got cats that can run you off the floor on top of it. Man, Trae. If I'm Trae Young, though, man, don't you want to leave? Like, you know what I'm saying? Don't you want to leave, man? Like, you know
well, let me see here. Because his name been thrown in trade talks before. So it's like I can see him wanting to be like, look, I'm tired of y'all playing with me. Just go ahead, get me out of here. Y'all already got what y'all want to do, apparently. So go ahead, get me up out of here. Go ahead, get me up out of here, and y'all do y'all thing. But I can also see him being like, yo, these young cats, if they keep going the way they're going, these young cats right here, they're gonna be they're gonna be a problem.
Like, listen, man, I'm just saying, like, Trae Young needs to be playing on a team that, because this, I'm gonna say this.
What team is missing Trae Young?
Man,
what team is a what?
Let me look at the roster.
What team, when you look at him on first glance, could use a Trae Young? Is that a trade destination to extend the Nikola Jokic window?
Yeah, it is, because it take the ball out of his hand. Trae Young's good with the ball in his hand.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it'll put Jokic down low where he's supposed to be.
Or what about pairing him with Anthony Edwards?
Ant-Man? Yeah, that'd be a cold squad to deal with them too.
Mm-hmm.
But he'll find Ant-Man in spots. He'll find Ant-Man. Yeah, that's a cold duo right there. I was hearing I don't know if that's really gonna happen, but
I would love him in Orlando. Like, I'll trade all the potential Anthony Black showing me, and I'll be like, look, y'all running with the young cats, give me him.
You said you needed a 2.
We could use a 2, but we need a guard, period. Somebody that can shoot from the outside.
The only thing that's stopping Trae Young from being viewed in the same light as Steph Curry is the success of his teams.
Right.
That's it. Because
Trae Young is actually like, Trae Young is carrying the heavier weight than what Steph Curry did at this point in his career anyway.
Because if you sit them side by side, I mean,
yeah, Steph is like way more efficient and more deadly with the 3 ball. We all get that part.
Yeah, but Trae
Young, you can run the offense with the ball. Like, he can run the offense. He's not as deadly, but he could be deadly.
No, I've seen
and like, this dude, he's not afraid. He's not afraid to go on the road in the playoffs and piss off the whole stands. Piss off the whole crowd, talk noise to him and everything.
Everybody can't shoot like Steph, but Trae Young can shoot. So
right,
and he clutch too. So that's all that matters. You know what I'm saying? Because that's all that matters. Because from what I understand, Steph Curry got kind of a bad record with game winners anyway. You know what I'm saying? So
he don't make a lot of them. He don't. I can't. Outside of this last championship that he won, and then the Olympics, like, that's not normally what he does.
But Trae Young, though?
Trae Young, when the game is tight,
that smoke. You know what I'm saying, at the end. So you could argue on some basketball stuff. I don't know, man. The only thing that separates them two is the fact that he plays on a better team.
Right.
At this point, if I'm Trae Young, I ain't gonna say he has a high IQ or anything like that, but like, he has to be the IQ for his team. Whereas Steph Curry, he's not obligated to be the IQ, especially now. Like we didn't talk about this. I feel like we need to jump back over there just to talk about it, just because they playing well. Mm-hmm.
But the Warriors, you could say Steph Curry got the 3rd highest IQ possible on that team now, because Jimmy Butler is over there, and like, from a skill standpoint, I was like, I don't know what he brings to the Warriors.
Mm-hmm.
But when you remember him in Miami, like, he never really had the skill, but he had that dog in him. He plays big. He plays smart. And he's bringing all of that to the Warriors. with Draymond Green and Steph Curry, and it's like helping out a lot. Now I heard Steph Curry's supposed to be hurt. I don't know how long he's supposed to be out for though.
I gotta look at that to see. So I was trying to do some catching up today.
But they was on like a 12-game winning streak or something like that, or no, it was 12-1.
Yeah, it was something like
something
that.
Like
they
that.
Actually, yeah, they doing their thing, man. So I mean, I know that they just they just won their game the other day. So I mean,
is it enough for me to feel like I would be threatened by them in the playoffs? No, not yet. Not yet. I mean, because I know Steph Curry could, and I know Jimmy Butler can have his games. I just feel like the teams that we talked about.
I just say they're not winning these games for no reason.
No, they not. They're not winning these games for no reason. But I'm trying to figure out who have they beaten. Like, have they beaten a team that's like playing well too, or are they beating the teams that's like the season's over for them?
You're not sweeping them.
No, you ain't sweeping them. No. I wouldn't say you sweeping them.
You're not sweeping
you
them.
Ain't sweeping them.
It's gonna be a tough situation.
It shouldn't be no sweeps. Like when you look at the competition across that, there should be no sweeps.
Yeah,
there should be no sweeps. Every team should at least win one game. I mean, the only team that could stand a chance of getting swept, if I was just to go by what I remember them seeing and remember them being, is the Clippers.
Yeah, the Clippers. I mean, the Clippers,
if Sacramento happens to actually make it into the real playoffs, not just playing stuff, I can see them getting swept too.
Yeah, if I'm Sabonis,
I'm out. Get me up out of here. Get me up out of here.
Would you take Sabonis in Orlando? Would you trade Franz for DeMontis?
If we trade Franz for DeMontis, and that puts Paolo back at his true position at a 3 instead of playing him at the 4 with this every now and then lineup stuff. Rebounding is immediately upgraded. Like, rebounding goes up. Like, I would trade Franz for DeMontis. I would trade Franz for DeMontis. Yep, I would definitely do that. DeMontis, though, he kind of old now, ain't he? Like, he got to be 30 or something because he spent a long time on the Pacers.
Let me see, man. I don't know his age to be keep it a being with you. Let me see. I'm over there with the Kings right now. Let me see DeMontis, Sabonis. Oh, I forgot they did get Markelle Fultz.
Who?
The Kings.
Oh yeah, Markelle back in the league.
Jay Crowder over there.
That's not bad. I mean, it's just that you got the wrong guys at the top. You got the wrong guys at the top. Like, you got
DeMontis 28.
28. So he's in the same boat as Devin Booker. He in the same boat as Devin Booker.
Yeah, I wouldn't say the Kings, they just got a team that on paper, on the video game, you can get off on them with them.
Right.
But in real life, it's like
you can sweep them. You can sweep them. You can sweep the Kings and you can sweep the Clippers. Clippers is the team that you technically shouldn't be able to sweep, but they get swept for whatever reasons.
I mean, you know why? Yeah, I mean, they don't, you know what I mean? Like the King, I don't take the Clippers serious, not even a little bit. Okay?
Does Kawhi have any value to you?
No.
I wouldn't mess with it.
I wouldn't be trying to. I'd trade for Zion before I trade for him. I would. And I don't even think Zion stuff that high. But the thing with Zion is he's young.
And you can still like you still have a chance to get at Zion and try to change the course.
Yeah, I'm not touching Kawhi, dog. Like, cause he haven't been how many years? I mean, this has been like a 5-year saga. You know what I'm saying? No?
I think it's been longer than that, hasn't it? Like
Spurs, actually.
Yeah, because his last year or two with the Spurs, they was having that back and forth with his injuries and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
I wouldn't not.
I wouldn't touch him.
Is there anybody the minute he retire?
I think he's Hall of Fame, but okay. I don't think that he. I would not. If I can, okay. Same thing like with CJ McCollum. If I can get him for cheap and not pay a superstar price, if I can get him at a role player price, I'm taking it.
Why?
Yeah. If I can get him at a role player price,
I'm taking it. For.
That's why I said if I can get him at a role player price.
When you want somebody that's available though?
Well, yeah, of course. But I'm thinking about, okay, so as a role player, that means my team is already established. I already got like what I need. You just coming in to fill in some spots, give some breathers and stuff like that, right? Mm-hmm. If I can get him at a number like that, then yeah, I'll bring him in because he's still Kawhi when he's healthy. Like he's not nothing easy to get by on defense. He's very
Kawhi is all world when he's healthy. Yeah,
right.
He's one of the best players. Period. He's, you know what I'm saying? Right. He's one of the best He's one of the best players in the league, point blank, when he's healthy. Right. Let's get that out the way. But he's never available.
Right.
And you about to ask me who wouldn't I touch?
No, I was about to ask you: is there anybody on the Clippers that you would go for?
Look, I'm trying to think of the roster. What's the shooter's name, dog?
Bogdanovich?
No. Bogdanovich. I like Bogdanovich though.
Yeah, I'd like him too.
I'll go for him. Was it Norman Powell?
Yeah, Norman Powell. He already 31.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm thinking in the likes of my team only on point, and I need to because Bogdanovich can go anywhere and be effective. He a shooter.
Bogdanovich can go anywhere. I do like the fact that they're giving Chris Dunn minutes because Chris Dunn.
That's the lefty, ain't he? Or is he a righty? I'm thinking of Chris Dunn. I think he's a lefty, ain't he?
Well, I know him more so to be like that defensive player.
Dunn, I like Dunn. He's been in the league for a while, dog.
Right, yeah, but he just never got the green light. So he's always been like in the role player role, which Dunn, is no issue. But like Chris Dunn is a defensive player that has some offense. Yeah.
I mean, the Clippers, they're actually doing better than I thought they would be, to be completely real with you.
Right. I just don't look at them as a threat.
No, they're on a 4-game streak, but
I know you would probably still give a chance to Ben Simmons.
I mean, listen, I stand by what I say. So
I'd rather have Zubac.
Zubac is cold, dog.
And Zubac should be the one that I would take off this roster. Zubac,
I like Zubac. He, all purpose. You know what I'm saying? Ben Simmons, I mean, anytime I can get a guy like that who can run the ones, play defense, I'm gonna always give him a look. Let's see, Bogdanovich, of course, I messing with him. That's about. I'm not touching no James Harden, fam, or Kawhi.
Norman Powell, though.
Possibility. I'm not the biggest Norman Powell guy, but he can. He was getting it in though.
I'll bring him in on some like.
Eubank's not really garbage either though.
No,
but I wouldn't. I mean, I'm just looking at you saying who I would.
Right.
Derrick Jones, his stuff just bloop.
Yeah, we seen that he robbed highway robbery on that dunk contest. Couldn't do nothing else with life. You know what I'm saying? Highway robbery.
He was doing good with Dallas.
Yeah, because he was just catching lobs.
Yeah, I'm saying though, he was
just
doing
catching lobs.
He was doing good over there. He, when you got
ain't no passers over here.
Exactly.
Ain't no passers over here.
You got to find a role, all little things like that matter. See that, and that's what the kids got to understand.
Right.
Certain things matter when you have a team. The way Dallas was built with Luka in them,
was perfect.
Even with Derrick Jones, as limited as he is, though,
and he can occasionally knock down an open shot.
When you throw the lob, that's a morale boost.
Right.
Chemistry boost.
Yeah.
hype dude, all that. So
well, I ain't mean to start talking about the Clippers though, but I mean we supposed to be jumping back over to I just wanted to jump over to the West to give the Golden State some of they do.
Yeah, so
because they definitely do. I just don't take them serious to come out the West or be a threat to come out the West.
I wouldn't.
They could be scary.
I wouldn't walk into the playoff series thinking that. I would take them serious.
No, obviously, yeah, but like, I'm saying when every team that they play against shows up to play and they battle them, like I don't take them serious to win in that manner. But
I would say this: you dealing with three dudes. Well, Steph is a champion.
Mm-hmm.
Jimmy Butler got a team that was suspect to the championship twice. That dude knows what he's doing. So I mean, it's not like you dealing with these cats.
And then you got Draymond Green.
Yeah, champion, and he knows these high IQ
his IQ stuff, like, and then not to mention they got plenty of shooters.
Yeah, that's
they got plenty
you want to play with, dog.
That's they got plenty. The way to beat them, go down low and get folks in foul trouble, slow that stuff because once you get to Draymond Green, once you get to, like if Draymond Green just start fouling and gets in foul trouble, texting all of that stuff, the whole team's messed up.
But Jimmy Butler can actually offset that though.
He should be able to offset that
and all that stuff. So
yeah, but Jimmy Butler don't run the offense. Draymond runs the offense. Right. Draymond runs the offense, and I guess Jimmy Butler he could be the voice on the floor when Draymond is not there.
Yeah,
but he doesn't run the offense. They would have to put the ball back in Steph Curry's hands, see what he could do.
I just say it's a bad idea if you think you're about to go in a playoff series and get them and be like,
No. Right now
out the gym, dog.
Right now they slotted to play against Memphis, so that'll be a good matchup. To be honest with you.
Memphis not beating them.
Memphis. I would expect Ja to come into that series with a point to prove because he got knocked out by them last time.
He can have a point to prove. He's not beating them. That's too much IQ on the floor over there. It's not happening, dog. Like, you know what I'm saying? He's like, look here, young fella, you can do all that jumping all you want, fam. It's not gonna work. I don't even think that's gonna be the thing. I think Jaren Jackson's stupidity will shine. It'll shine real bright because because in that matchup, no, actually, no, I'm wrong. I'm sorry, I'm wrong about that. No, Golden State will be playing against LA. Okay. Oh, well, I mean, LA should win that.
That'll be a fun series to watch. That'll be a fun series to watch.
Golden State got the better shooters, but
yes, they do. But like LA, with the combination of what Luka can do to any defender, on top of what you would get out of LeBron, going based off of expectation, they should be able to win that. That might be like a 6-7 game series, though.
As long if listen, I'm gonna say this about Golden State, and then we can. If any team they go up against, when you can shoot like that and you got high IQ like that, you got to make sure you on point because even if they down by 10,
they could be up by
they
1.
Can come back real quick, dog. When they get hot.
That's why I think LA. I think they would rather not play him in the first round. They would rather not play them in the first round. They would rather not. But I think if they was to play them in the first round, that'll be a good test to let us know how far LA gonna go. Cause don't know other team got the IQ like that.
Yeah, that's gonna be, that'll be
don't know other team got no IQ like that. Like I mean, like Luka, he's great, but he don't got the IQ in that era like that.
No, I mean, and
so pretty much it's gonna be Bron versus Draymond and Jimmy Butler.
Yeah, all them shooters, man. Like, you know what I'm saying?
All of them shooters.
Like, that's not
all them shooters. Now Bron showed in the past series against them or games against them, he showed that he's like kind of learned they offense when he was like directing traffic. You go over there, you go over here, playing defense. So he kind of showed that. But like,
when people can shoot contested threes, it don't matter.
Right. Which is the only one that can do that on that team is Steph. So, but once again, it's gonna be about getting the Draymond Green first. If you can turn Steph Curry into a playmaker versus a shooter, you won. You won the series, or you should win the series by doing that.
Golden State, the way they set up, like they main thing is the shooting. Everything else you should be able to handle that.
Right.
Stop the shot, even though it's easier said than done.
Right. It is.
You know, but
it is. But let's jump back to the East. All right. So we don't got to talk about Milwaukee because they're. Why? I mean, I don't think they stand a chance to win anything.
I'm not saying they do. They on a 2-game losing streak. Indiana above them.
Milwaukee, yeah, Indiana's above it. Indiana plays better team ball, and they actually have a floor general.
Who, Tyrese?
Yeah.
Man, they play cold, fam.
Yeah, he has been hot and cold this year, but that alone has been better than Dame.
Well, Dame
might need to be like, look, this ain't working out.
He didn't want to go there anyway. So, I mean, and it shows. But where would Dame go to where he's... Because Dame don't play defense. He undersized.
Right.
I'm being honest.
He can come to Orlando.
You'll take him?
I'll take him in Orlando.
Trade for him? Because is he going to make y'all better?
He will make us... I would think he has the potential to make us better. Like if we can keep Jalen Suggs and still have him, I think he makes us better. Because we need some defense. Because one of the things that Orlando is lacking in is consistent perimeter shooting. We don't have consistent perimeter shooting. So if we bring Dame in, that keeps teams from being able to collapse on Paolo when he goes down low. Because people have to look out for, he over there.
Right.
He over there. So if we can get him in an Orlando jersey, I'll take that, even if it means giving up Anthony Black. I'm a hate doing that part because Anthony Black, 6'8" point guard. You know what I'm saying? I ain't.
So is it worth making the move then?
I think so because I feel like that would take Orlando to another notch. Like that would take Orlando
with this name.
Well, obviously this Dame is being paired with Giannis and whatnot, but Dame still can pop off.
I'm not saying he can't. Dame, to me, I love Dame. I like Dame. It's just I feel like he's maybe a bit overrated.
You know what? They could probably. I mean, well, if you Houston, would you trade Van Vliet for Dame?
No.
Nah.
No. Why would I do that?
Why would you do that?
Yeah, why would I do that? See, because it's the thing. Van Vliet fits that team better. See, I'm not about to mess up what I got going on here.
Because neither one of them play defense. Like Van Vliet ain't got no D.
But Van Vliet probably could run. He could run.
He's
better though.
He's a better point guard. That is true. He is a better point guard. Okay, what about Denver?
Who am I trading?
Would you trade Westbrook?
They gonna want more than that. They're not about to just take West.
Would you trade? Because he signed an extension when he got traded over there, didn't he?
Russell?
No, Dame.
Dame? Did he? I don't know. He didn't want to be there, so I have no idea. He may have. Maybe, I don't know. I gotta look into that. I don't know nothing about that.
Check his contract.
I wouldn't imagine he did that. Because he act like he ain't want to be there at all. So
right. So Dame has let me see here. Well, that's the other thing too. He ain't no spring chicken. Like Dame 30, 34.
Yeah, he up there. That's what I'm saying. Like,
right. And see, how come you didn't give me overview? Let me see here. Hold on. Let me go back. Because let me see here. Okay, so Dame currently with his contract, he has 2 more years left on his deal. I mean, he gonna be making 54 next year and 58 the year after that. But that's with a player option.
I mean, look. First of all, I mean, like the Bucks, when they went to the finals, they had a complete team.
Right.
So they team is not, and this is the problem. Them 2 players, due to their limitations, you can't just have them 2 players until you have success. Because Giannis, he don't got enough in his offensive bag at all. You know what I'm saying? He's not a consistent offensive player like that. You know what I'm saying? And Dame can't play defense. He undersized. You know what I'm saying? And if he's not hot, he's not effective.
Right.
So, but whatever. It is what it is. So we can slide up off them because I don't even know how they that high.
Mm-hmm. You know right. I mean, I think they got that high because when Orlando was dealing with the injuries and they started to fall because they had to readjust to players not being there and whatnot. I think because Orlando was once upon a time the number 4 seed. And then them injuries started to come, and then it just started dropping. No,
you're right, I remember.
The Pacers, like you said, they've been hot and cold, so they can be up here today, and they can be down a seed or 2 tomorrow. The Knicks. Now,
they are still one of the top teams in the East, but I feel like they got worse.
They technically worse than they was last year. If you go by what the standings say. Because last year they was the number 2 seed.
Yeah.
So
now, what'd you feel about the Knicks the other day, right? So, Draymond Green and Cat been having a little whatever that is.
Right.
So the Knicks shaking his hand, laughing with him and all that, and Cat just walked. He just dipped off. You know what I'm saying? What you feel about that?
I mean, Cat. Exactly what he is. He ain't got no dog in
him. Should the teammates been, you know what I'm saying, dapping it up with Draymond and all that, since he been talking greasy about Cat and all that?
No, you shouldn't.
Like
if you a team, y'all supposed to be together in all things.
That's what I'm saying. You know what I mean?
So if Draymond Green talking cash about him, don't be coming up to me asking for no dap.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying.
But here's the thing, dog. I gotta send you a thing I seen on Cat. I think this dude might be homosexual. I'm not.
I don't have any information or knowledge behind this. So
I'm just saying. Like, and it's like all stuff that, I seen it and I was like, yo, is this dude homosexual?
Man, listen, I have no clue about none of that. You know what
listen,
I'm saying?
Look, man.
No clue whatsoever. I have no idea, man. Like, I have no... I don't know, man. I know he's weird, you know what I'm saying? But,
right.
I felt that way about my man's for the Rams. Well, when he played for the Rams.
Well, he was weird. I mean, he was the first one to come out.
I'm like, who? Ramsey?
Oh no, not Ramsey. No,
I mean,
Ramsey.
He always had
Ramsey. He ain't. I don't know what it is, but like he ain't that. He just
real. He one of those, because I got cousins like that. So I mean, I got cousins who talk that way, but they not funny. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I've seen these things, but that's why I'm saying I don't know.
No, but this ain't even that. This is like the way you would hear a real gay dude talk and respond to things. That's what you getting with him.
Man, listen,
man. I'm just saying. But anyway, to get back to basketball, Cat, he can shoot. But he's still soft. He's still soft, and Draymond Green called him soft. First of all, like how you let another man call you soft? Like at bare minimum, get a tech.
I mean, exactly. Maybe he felt like you trying to rile me up to, you know what I'm saying? Get, you know, whatever the case is.
Go ahead.
My thing is this. You know, there's some things, you know, when somebody trying to say something to guarantee your skin, like, this is pointless, man. You know what I'm saying? But there's ways around it. Like, you know, we all know Draymond has a big mouth when he runs his mouth, but he not really about no action for real. Not against nothing serious. You know what I'm saying? He not about no action against nothing serious. You know what I mean? So, you know, there's ways to check Draymond's temperature. You know what I'm saying? Like the way Isaiah Stewart did it. There's ways to do that. He's not gonna do nothing when you really about to smoke for real. You know what I'm saying? So he can sense that about you. He's only gonna pick on cats that he
is Isaiah Stewart really about to smoke though? Because I think we can say the same thing about him.
About what?
Isaiah Stewart.
I wouldn't call him soft.
But Isaiah Stewart, he plays tough when it looks like he knows he can win the battle.
Meaning with who?
Like when you look at the rest of the league, how many dudes in the league is like really about that?
Because what I seen, he gets physical with everyone. He's not like picking and choosing who to get. Now, when it comes to getting down, you gotta be wise about this. You know what I'm saying? Like, so there's ways, because you don't want to get suspended for 20 games and prove a point to this dude. You know what I'm saying? Right. But there's ways to do stuff within game.
Right.
So you ensure you don't get suspended. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
There's ways to let somebody know what's up. You know what I mean? So,
right.
You know, going blow for blow is not smart on any level at this point, because
no, but
you know what I'm saying? But
no, but what I'm saying, but like this is the same dude that charged at LeBron, right? You know what I'm saying?
There's smoke and mirrors behind that.
Right. So I'm just saying it's like, and what you're saying about Draymond Green, I think could be very true. You know, it's easy to look like you an alpha when there ain't no other alphas around. You know what I'm saying? So that's
pretty much.
So I mean, if there was another dude, like if what's his name, James Johnson, he supposedly has the reputation to like.
Well, he's a real fighter, allegedly. They say he got a real record and everything, so anybody about to bother him, you know what I'm saying? Right.
So, like, would Isaiah Stewart try him? Because he's still technically in the league.
Nah, I don't think. I mean, as far as fighting, you'll lose, brother. But I mean, the thing is, like, I'm talking about getting physical on the floor. You know what I'm saying?
So yeah,
Cat. I haven't seen Cat get physical like that on the floor, throw a bowl on somebody, something.
No, not at all.
I've never seen that.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Saying? That's what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? On some real stuff.
And Jalen Brunson, he got the ankle injury. Udonis Haslem already put his business in the street. I mean, everybody should have kind of known it to a degree. But like he had said, oh yeah, well we all know that Jalen Brunson, he's done for the year. Like his ankle injury, he ain't gonna be right till the summertime or something like that. Like he said that.
Man, I didn't hear him say that. That's messed
he
up.
said that on the ESPN stuff.
He probably need to relax. You know what I'm saying? And learn how to keep.
They gonna be like, yo, man, you telling too much stuff.
You know what I'm saying?
Stephen A was like, I'm gonna have you suspended for saying that.
Yeah, like you can't be, you know what I mean? Like you can't be saying because they don't want you putting out things because that's, you know.
Because he was just keeping it real. He was because it was in that clip that I sent y'all when he was talking about the Detroit Pistons can beat the Knicks in a 7-game series.
Yeah, I seen some of that. I thought he was saying he wanted him suspended because he said what he said about Detroit.
No.
He can get him.
No, Stephen A wanted him suspended because of what he said about them being able to beat the Knicks. You know, because Stephen A, he all about the Knicks and whatnot.
Yeah, I mean,
and then the other thing about the Knicks, you heard about Mikal Bridges calling out, like, well, pretty much calling out
Tibbs.
Yeah,
you're like, man, come on, dog.
Yeah,
come on, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, is he wrong though?
No, he ain't wrong.
He ain't wrong. Like, dog, come on, man. Like, golly, man, God, Tibbs, man, like that's his Tibbs. Tibbs wild, man. Like he don't.
Yeah.
You have other players, dude. They're there for a reason. Give me a breather, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? I mean, that's why D Rose's career messed up. I'm serious.
I know.
Like, I'm dead serious. Tibbs.
Because run him into the ground.
Because if Derrick Rose got the proper breaks, that's cool. He'd still be around probably a little longer. You know what I'm saying? Or they probably would have won a championship, to be honest.
Because had he would have had the right substitution packages, they probably would have beat the Heat one time.
They would have won a championship, though. That Bulls team wasn't, man, that Bulls team was serious, man.
Wasn't nothing to play with.
Know what I'm saying? So, I mean,
the Knicks.
He ain't wrong for that.
No. The Knicks, this season is a wash for them. Boston and Cleveland. I think Boston. I still think Boston is coming out the East. Like I don't see nothing beating them.
Nobody give Cleveland their respect at all.
No, like Cleveland get their respect for being the 1 seed, but it's like how many times have I seen
the whole year?
Yeah, they've been cold the whole year. You want a cookie? Like this ain't you don't.
It ain't about that. I mean,
you don't win a championship.
Do you get results or not? Because Donovan Mitchell.
You don't win a championship in the regular season.
People been defecating on Donovan Mitchell forever.
Has it not been deserving? Has it not been deserving
for the Jazz?
Has it not been even for Cleveland? Has it not been deserving?
What is he doing now? He's balling, right? And everybody's mute. That be the funny part.
Well, no.
When somebody proves someone wrong, you know what I'm saying? They mute now. They want to get on there and talk crazy,
he hasn't
but they
proved
be mute.
anything yet.
You know
he hasn't proved anything yet. You want to know why?
They've been consistently at the top of the East the whole year.
Yes, they've been consistently top of the East the whole year.
Over the champions, right?
Yeah, but that don't mean that they better than the champions. You put them in a 7-game series.
They talk about teams that lose more than them.
Hey, look, let me tell you this
much. It makes no sense. You can't even tell me a good reason behind that.
Because don't nobody believe them.
Man, all right, okay.
You don't even believe them.
What, Cleveland? They can't come out the East. They not, dog, you not about to face Cleveland and be like, we about to just walk through them. It's not gonna happen, man.
No, but when you think about what they got to deal with, because I don't think they can beat Boston in a 7-game series until they show it to me. That's
the only team that presents a problem.
That's the only team you should be worried about.
And Boston is nice. I mean, this isn't heart surgery.
No.
Boston is nice.
Right.
But Cleveland is nice too. Boston still got to play well to beat them. They can't just walk in like, yeah, we about to beat them. It's not going to happen.
No.
You better play right. You know what I'm saying?
No, but, Boston is the team that has all the elements to win a championship, not just look good in the regular season.
That's fine. They're going to have to still do it again, though.
Right,
it's not a foregone conclusion that they're going to win.
No, it's not a foregone conclusion. Okay, you still have to play the game, right? But like I said before, Boston, with them, their biggest thing is when you look at the matchups.
Mm-hmm.
Drew Holiday, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum. Defensively guarding two small guards.
Mm-hmm.
Two small guards. Like, life is going to be hard for them. Like, not just Donovan Mitchell, but Darius Garland too. Both of them, they're going to have to play like superheroes to win that series.
Well,
they're going, I mean, and technically, the one who they should play through, they ain't going to give him the rock first.
Mm-hmm.
Because they big mismatch in this series is the Evan Mobley.
Mm-hmm.
But they ain't going to run the offense through Evan Mobley because that's going to mess up everything that they've been doing.
Well, I'm going to just say this.
And then the other aspect of that too, Evan Mobley, do he got the dog in him?
Not an Evan Mobley guy like that. But I'm not an Evan Mobley guy like that. I'm not. You never heard me speak about no Evan Mobley. Like, I'm just not a big Evan Mobley guy. He ain't trapped, nothing like that.
No. Like, he can,
just, you know what I mean?
He can play, but like, when you step on the court, do you need to be like, yo, we need to watch him? Like, he gonna pop off? No,
not really. No, not really. Like I said, I'm not the biggest Evan Mobley guy, so I'm not gonna sit there and tell you I am. But Cleveland has been doing a thing. You know what I'm saying? And they didn't just get handed wins. They played and got the wins. Played good basketball to get the wins. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Period.
Well, look,
they're not no bum squad that you just about to just walk up on and beat. You know what I'm saying? Just because they undersized. Now they have an undersized problem. Yes, you know what I mean, they do. But
that's a serious problem when you're playing against a team like Boston.
It's a problem, but Boston better come in and play. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because they have a tendency to slack off. And if they do slack off, they'll lose the series.
Yes, but we can say something about Boston that we can't say about Cleveland.
What?
Boston at least got over the hump one time.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying. Not in that aspect. I'm just saying. And they also, it's not easy to go back to back either.
No, it's
so
not easy to go back to back.
Have that same hunger, you know what I'm saying, and get busy. And we've seen already in the beginning of the season, I feel like they don't have the same hunger like that. You know what I'm saying? A little arrogance here and there, thinking they could just walk in places and win. Well, and they can't have that attitude. They can't have that attitude going against Cleveland. I don't think it's wise for anybody to look at them at their size like, oh, we about to just cook them. Bad idea.
No, not at all. Like, no. The only team that Cleveland has to worry about is Boston. And the only team that Boston has to worry about is Cleveland. Mm-hmm. Outside of that, every other team should be a win. Yeah, you still got to go in there and play. Like, I would say that. I would say the same thing about Indiana and the Detroit. More so Detroit than Indiana because Detroit got better players when you look from top to bottom.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Detroit can give Cleveland a run for their money.
Yeah.
Just because they got the size to match up with everybody. And Cade is playing like.
Yeah, they gotta just keep this up. I mean, I expect a tough first round series. You know what I'm saying?
Well, right now, if they play against if they end up truly playing against New York,
I think we can beat them.
I don't think it's going to be as tough as people sound because Tibbs going to have his players dead and everything. And then you're going to have them playing against them these players right here. Thompson, Duran, Isaiah Stewart going to be all up, getting extra physical with Cat and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, look, I'm not saying that it's going to be a sweep or anything, but it's going to kind of look like how Indiana did it last year.
Yeah, I don't. New York, they love too. New York, they record don't tell the truth. I just say that.
Right.
I just say that. You know what I'm saying?
So
I say that. I don't know. I mean, the East weak in the mug, to be honest.
It is.
Keep
it
the
is.
beans.
It's
So, I mean,
it's not like the West. Like the West, everybody from 1 to 8 might have a somewhat of a well, not everybody from 1 to 8. Everybody from 1 to 6 can have the potential to shock somebody and whatnot. But the East is really all about 1 and 2.
Yeah, I mean, and if any one of them lose any other series besides the Eastern Conference Finals, is an upset.
Right.
So I mean, that's so they got pressure on themselves right there. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of pressure right there.
Right.
When it comes to that, to be honest, you know what I mean?
Right.
That's my thoughts on that. But I think it's either in the East, it's either Cleveland or Boston coming out. That it has to be. You know what I'm saying? And in the West, I don't know yet. I feel like the Thunder, they better come out. You know what I'm saying? That's really my thoughts behind that. I'm not looking at nobody but them. You know what I'm saying? To be honest.
Right.
I'm expecting to see the Thunder in the finals. That's who I expect to see in the finals, just off GP. You're supposed to be there.
I mean, well, if it was to play off just whoever has the ones next to their name after the standings, then it should be Oklahoma City and Cleveland.
It should be either Oklahoma versus Cleveland or Boston. I wouldn't be surprised if Boston went back to the finals. You know what I'm saying? They gotta go and get it though. It's not gonna be handed to you. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't expect them. Listen, I think they can get back there. They just gotta play. You know what I'm saying? And not go in there with an attitude like, oh, we got this. Because then you're gonna be, man, listen, you better go, man. Because Cleveland clearly got something to prove. Because simple fact, they fired they coach, and everybody was lost to confused behind that, like with the, you know what I mean? So they got something to prove too, like we made the correct decision. You know what I mean? So that's not to be taken lightly either.
Yeah, but they gonna have to get over. They gonna have to beat the size thing. If they can't beat the size thing, this same team that's number 1 this year could end up being number 5 or 6 next year just because they mentally defeated.
This is their problem. They don't have the problem with them. They don't have the shooters. You know, that's their big issue.
I think they got shooters.
Not like the
Strus over there. Donovan Mitchell himself can shoot. Garland can shoot. They got there's another dude on their team that can shoot. They got enough shooters to where they can still win this. To where they can still win shooting the rock. Ty Jerome, he can shoot a little bit.
Besides like that, you gotta be like on some. The reason why the Warriors was able to win like that, they shooting is just it's on a whole level,
that much
man.
better
like,
than ever.
You can be a good shooter, like all right, cool. The Cavs got good shooting. Okay, cool. Right, but it's not
special.
No, like, you know what I'm saying? It's good and all that, but it's not like no Warriors type stuff. You got to really
right.
In order to be able, so they gonna have to really handle their business. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? I'm not saying they can't because they've been doing their thing, but things is different in a 7-game series. But also on the flip side, you know what I mean? You can't just take them lightly because you could lose. Same thing about the Warriors now. You think you about to just go in there, all y'all little guys. Yeah, all right.
Right. So I mean, it's one of those things, man, where it's going to just be. It's really just between either one of them two. If either one of them drop the ball and lose any series, which is, I would expect that to be mainly Cleveland before Boston. If Cleveland loses any other series, they whole thing, this whole campaign for them, this whole ignoring them is justified. It's all justified. Because Donovan Mitchell used to be a player that would have a terrible field goal percentage. Donovan Mitchell used to be 6 for 23 at the end of every game.
Mm-hmm.
So if he don't do right in the playoffs while winning, it's the same narrative is gonna fall back on him too.
Well, at this point in time now, because Donovan Mitchell is a veteran now, so he's not no young up-and-comer guy. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He's going to have to show he can win. You know what I'm saying? A title or lead a team to success. Because the thing is this, he was compared to Dwayne Wade, dog. You know what I'm saying?
Which is, I don't know why they play two completely different styles.
You know what I'm saying? Like they called him D-Wade 2.0 and all that. So I'm like,
I don't understand why they do stuff like that.
Like, okay. But Donovan Mitchell, he kind of remind me of, I'm not going to say he remind me of him, because Darren Williams and Boozer were supposed to do something over in Utah, and nothing didn't come of that. And Darren Williams was looked at as one of the best point guards in the league.
That was partially his fault too.
You know what I'm saying? So
that was partially his fault.
You ended up getting Sloan fired, or did he step down?
No, he got him fired.
Okay, which is crazy.
Crybaby
legendary head coach fired. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But
right.
So and it's kind of the same thing with this guy. You got JB Bickerstaff fired. So you gonna have to show and prove, dog. Like, you know what I mean, that you worked all this trouble. Seriously.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's my thing with him. You know what I mean? But I'm not a big Donovan Mitchell guy. But I'm gonna give him credit where it's due. You know what I'm saying? He's doing he looking all right about now. You know what I'm saying? I give him his credit. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not a big Donovan Mitchell guy at all. But I mean,
right.
I mean, he doing his thing, so
right.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, I guess that's that.
Yeah, that's
the season wrap. You want to keep going? You want to keep going a little bit longer?
Let's hit that. Let's do the comparison thing real quick.
Okay.
Let's do that real quick.
The player comp. Okay. Yeah. So let's see here. When we think about players from the past and players comparison, I want to have a reasonable comparison, not nothing like not nothing that's just going to be heavily swayed. The goal is to have you to actually think about it.
Okay.
To actually think about it.
Okay.
So when you think about the players from today compared to the players of the past, I mean, I feel like we can't talk about point guards because there's no point guards of that status that was in the past.
Yeah, I mean, the point guard position kind of got the point guards we got now ain't even point guards. They point forwards or point centers. Right. So the real point guard's not even here at this point. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's messed up because that's a very valuable position.
Right.
So
okay, let me ask you this. So here's a comp. I'm not reaching too far back, but it's just a quick one that came to my head though. Corey Maggette.
Okay.
Corey Maggette. When you think about playing the three, Corey Maggette or Pascal Siakam.
Now Corey Maggette. I know he was like diesel in him. Was he good at defense? He had a little offense in him. He could do a little something. What was his defense like?
I mean, he was average for the league back then.
For defense?
For the league back then. Because we know the league back then and the league now, two different worlds.
Yeah, but still, like, okay, so he was average. He was an average defender.
For that league, which probably would be, is that saying he's a good defender in this league? I don't know.
Because Corey Maggette, I always felt like he was solid. Never felt like he was I mean, if I'm being honest, I mean, I think Pascal Siakam better than him. like overall. You know what I'm saying? Like,
now to stay with the linky dudes, because Pascal's linky, Corey Maggetti's bulk, right?
Yeah, but Corey Maggetti, I give him, he could shoot a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying Corey Maggetti wasn't exactly cold at anything to me. That's just me though. When I watched Corey Maggetti, you know what I'm saying? I would like to have thought he would have been a better defender than what he was due to his size.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But he, that's, some may feel differently. I don't know. I just, I thought he was solid, but I didn't, I go with Pascal if you gonna leave me with that comparison.
Okay, so I'm gonna try to get a more accurate one, because right now I'm going off the dome right now with trying to have players, trying to have a reasonable comparison. I'm not trying to just I'm not trying to immediately go for the star.
Who would you pick out of them two?
For those two, I feel like you get more offense with Pascal.
Mm-hmm.
The length of Pascal could equal whatever defensibility that could be looked at as average for Corey Maggetti.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say I would roll with Pascal too.
Okay.
I would roll Pascal too, just because I don't know if Corey Maggetti moves the needle for me a little bit like how Pascal did for the Pacers.
Okay.
Because the acquisition of Corey Maggetti on a team like that, I don't think they go up. I think they just stay where they at.
Okay. Let me think of one. Let me see. What do you think? Would you take a Michael Redd or Klay Thompson?
I'm personally, I like Michael Redd better.
Mm-hmm.
I like Michael Redd better. Michael Redd can actually put it on the floor and create his own. Whereas Klay Thompson, he's like strictly, you have to get him open.
Okay.
Now, once he gets going, being open is not an issue anymore. Like
right.
if he starts getting flowing, he could care less about being open or having a hand in his face. He's just gonna shoot.
Right.
And I feel like Michael Redd's shooting ability is up there. It's just not up in that status. So it's like, how do you want your 20 piece or your 30 piece? How do you want it? You know what I'm saying? Because Klay, I can see Klay getting it without getting anybody in foul trouble or without drawing any fouls at all.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas Michael Redd, because he can put it on the floor and do a little bit, like I can see him getting it. His 30 could be like, yeah, I'm shooting threes, I'm shooting mids, I'm driving to the lane, and I'm at the free throw line.
Mm-hmm.
So I can get it in all factions. And he played for Team USA, so that's saying something too.
Michael Redd?
Yeah.
Cold shooter. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. Would you rather have let me see here, because I was thinking about some players and some other players popping into my head.
Well, you gotta tell me that egregious thing before we get off.
Oh, you want to hear that? You want to hear that now?
Yeah,
you want to hear that now?
What is that? What was the thing?
Okay, so we was talking well, there was a basketball conversation going on in the group chat that I'm in. Mm-hmm. And they was talking about, it looks like they was talking about the Knicks, because I'm going back and looking at the conversation. Mm-hmm. They was talking about the Knicks and whatnot. Somebody said something about Brunson and blah, 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 but Brunson is a liability on the court just as much as Isaiah Thomas was when he was heating up, blah, 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 and whatnot. And I made the comment, real PGs are a dinosaur.
Yeah.
Just like real bigs are a dinosaur.
Yeah.
And so this person commented. Now, keep in mind, he's a diehard Celtics fan, watches basketball like a mug. He normally has respectable opinions about that, right? And whatnot. And so he asked the question, what's a real PG? And I said to him, because of who he is, I was like, just think of Rondo.
Yeah.
And he said, in response to that comment, he said, nobody wants a player on the court that can't score in 2025. Now these guys score and make plays for their teammates while playing great defense. There's no space for a person that can't get a bucket. Teams used to walk away from Rondo at the three-point line. And he said, with Rondo on the court, you simply make him try to score by taking away his options. I said, don't forget the IQ of players have dropped significantly.
Okay.
And he was like, they definitely know how to get buckets and play defense. And then he said, yeah, every team he was on. No, he had said I replied specifically to the with Rondo on the court, you simply make him try to score and take away his options. And I replied to him, yet every team he was on was a playoff team.
Right.
And
it was too.
And he was like, and then I also replied, they definitely know how to get buckets and play defense. Talking about the players of this league. And so I replied to him, I was like, you mean the Celtics? Because the Celtics is one of the only teams that plays defense with the elites.
Right.
And he responded to that, the top 5 teams in the league. And so I said, so it's only 5 good quality teams is what you're saying. And then let me see as I go down. But I'm just skipping through all of this. I'm just giving you the background of all this other stuff. And then like I said another thing about Rondo. He wasn't afraid to drive to the lane and get to the free throw line either. While he couldn't shoot that well, he still scored. And he said, but you would live with a Rondo runner or layup as long as it wasn't an alley to a baseline cutting big or a kick out to a shooter. As soon as you flinch to help, he's making you pay. But why help on Rondo? And blah 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 blah. Let me see. I'm trying to cut to the juice part. So anyway, pretty much his point was saying that if you don't have the ability to score at all, you don't have any value in this league. And so I said, I had asked him this question. So Rodman, Ben Wallace, and others would have no value. I said, Rodman and Ben Wallace would have no value. He said, nope. And I don't see that as a problem. They serve their purpose. That time is over. You want to complain or be entertained? He said, what? So pretty much he's saying that Rodman can't play in this league. Ben Wallace can't play in this league, along with everybody else that was elite specialists.
So you don't want. So let me get this correct. I just want to, get it correct.
Right.
So you don't want rebounds, defense, block shots.
Right.
You don't want none of that. You just want. So are you trying to win, or are you trying to? Is this
in
WWE?
His mind?
Like, what is this?
Because when he said that, I was so mind blown. I didn't even want to participate in the conversation anymore. I just commented, "You're funny," and I just left.
But fam, like that statement is a little ignorant. Like, so this is the thing. Everybody have roles, and the reason why the league's bad so much is because they fall into this quote unquote entertainment bag. You know
right? Because like one of the things that he said was like, he was like, "Welcome to positionless basketball" or something like that.
And how?
And he has said, and no successful team is relying on one player to do all the playmaking anymore. Nobody gets respect if they can't score consistently.
I'm trying to say, like, what do you mean? I
was blown away because this is diehard Celtics fan normally says stuff. He watched Rondo's impact.
This is the problem with people who like to pander to the new stuff so they don't feel left out. Because see, these are the type of things that I get when I have these conversations, when they try to just lean towards the new stuff just to sound cool. This is the thing, man. Basketball is terrible right now. It is what it is because of this stupid positionless basketball. Let's call it what it is. No one have roles anymore. So you saying that Ben Wallace, champion by the way, Hall of Fame, by the way. This is Hall of Fame for defense, blocking shots, and rebounds. He's in the literal Hall of Fame for that. Same thing with Rodman, except the blocking shots part. Contributed to championships for 2 different squads, mind you. You mean it? Come on, fam.
He couldn't play in this league.
Come on, fam.
According to what he thinks. According to what he thinks.
What do you need to do to win championships? You have to stop people and get second chance points, right?
Right? I mean, you preaching to the choir. I was like this when he said that. I was like, it
so
was one of those
defense.
Comments.
Eliminate defense then.
It was one of those comments that stuck with me for a couple of days because everything else he said, I was like, I don't even know if I can respect anything you saying right now. Because here's the reason why. Rudy Gobert is a starting center in this league, viewed as a 4-time defensive player of the year. Mm-hmm. Knowing good and doggone well, he should have never been a 3-time defensive player of the league.
Right.
Ben Wallace is a true 4-time defensive player of the league.
Right.
We seen clips. People talk about the Pistons, man. They just shut you down. They wasn't doing nothing dirty or anything like that. Ben Wallace, he just elevated the team and also. I'm sitting here like, and so his point is Ben Wallace or Rodman would have no value just because there's no scoring coming from them. And I'm sitting here.
No sense.
And I'm sitting here like.
You do realize that everybody is one ball. Everybody's
right.
had a role.
Right.
It's what it. So for example, if you got a star player on your team, a 2-guard, he shoot the brick. Oh, rebound, Rodman kicks it back out. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Are you kidding me?
Right.
Ben Wallace slapped the ball back to you. All right,
not
try
even
that again.
Not even just that. Ben Wallace was athletic enough to where he would catch a lob.
Right, or get the putback, give you a putback.
Yeah, get you a putback. Like Rodman, how many games Rodman had when he had like 20 rebounds?
Right, and you know what them 20 rebounds entail that stops them from getting second chance points.
And
you know what I'm saying? It gets you second chance points.
And this is the other thing about that too, because I'm like, just think about what recently happened in history to your Celtics. When y'all played against the Warriors that first time, your Celtics had a hard time winning the rebound battle because Kevon Looney kept on extending possessions and kicking it back out so Steph Curry can have another chance to make a shot.
I don't know.
Tony Allen, I guess, couldn't play, and he would have no value in this league.
Tony Allen's value. Tony Allen would be getting the max at this point.
I mean, I'm just sitting here. I'm just saying to myself, I'm like,
Tony Allen would be getting the max at this point. Tony Allen in this game.
I'm just saying, like, you got real live examples of guys in the league that can't score, but they mean a lot.
Yeah.
they mean a lot. Draymond Green can't score, but he means a lot.
Right. He didn't say nothing about that, did he?
Well, I didn't, because I didn't want to keep on entertaining. Like, so you gotta know who you talking to, right? So when like these are certain people that when they mind is made up, there's no,
man.
You know, they mind is made up on.
If you know the game, you know it's not a wise statement.
It's not a wise statement at all. Isaiah Stewart can't score, but what does he mean to the Pistons?
He put a battery in everybody's back on the team. They all be acting the fool with this guy out there. You know what I'm saying?
Jared Allen can't score, but his team is number one over your Celtics right now. You know?
People say things to fit the narrative, to try to just fit in. It's kind of like how Gilly be saying a bunch of nonsense, knowing the era you come from. But you want to sit there and be leaning. Nah, he says things that lean towards the young dudes, knowing good and well. I don't even think you believe half the things you say when it comes to that. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, but he be trying to talk about these MCs these days is off the chain. They cold with it.
Come on, fam. Like, yeah. But a lot of them be doing that. A lot of these guys do that.
Is he talking about like battle rappers, or is he talking about mainstream
music? Period. Like the stuff that they call YNs make. A lot of these dudes be trying just so they can fit in. Like, oh yeah, you know these younger. No, it's not good. No,
he got to appeal to an audience so he can get checked.
Exactly. So, and that goes like that with basketball. These people that be saying these things, they just want to fit in, so they don't be told they're out of touch.
Like I said, that whole comment threw me off because of who he is. Like, I was like, I used to respect the things that you would say here. Now everything is kind of in question now, because nothing you can say now can erase the fact that you said this.
Look,
now, would some of those players have to make an adjustment to play in this league? Sure, because the rules change, how the refs call things. But does that mean that rebounding the ball is different? Does that mean that contesting shots is different? Does that mean that hustling is different?
Nah, look, at the end of the day, man, you know already that what was said was out of pocket here. Like, I mean, that's not you can't talk your way out of that and make it make sense. Like,
the worm can't play in this league. It will have no value. No value.
That's not a good statement. Like,
the worm would have no value in this league.
That's not a good statement to make. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just not like, I mean, anybody that know the game know good and well come on, stop playing.
For real.
And then Dennis Rodman played in different areas. All right, man.
Yeah, I mean,
the same thing on different squads and still help.
I'm trying to figure. I'm trying to
basketball player allegedly, or the people view as, he said this about Rodman. I don't care about none of the dresses. I don't care about none of that. You know what I'm saying? Please, we want to keep him. We want to keep him. You know what I'm saying? Why?
Right.
Because this Dennis Rodman brought everything. Don't have to fill the stat sheets either.
And he was like, he had said something in the past. So what, y'all watch 48 minutes of basketball and just be upset the whole time? And I'll be like,
what does that mean?
Because I said the comment, the IQ has significantly dropped.
And it did drop.
Significantly dropped. Not just among superstars, role players too. They all have dropped significantly. And so when I watch a game, I get frustrated because I see what they should be doing and they don't do it. Yeah. And I guess that's what he means when it's like, oh, so you watch a whole 48 minutes and just be upset?
Bro, if somebody, listen, man.
When you seen the product, how it's supposed to look or how players are supposed to play, and you see other guys deviating from that and you be like, yeah, this is a better version.
if I'm a fan of basketball and this is all I got to watch, it's like somebody being hungry and starving, right? If you starving and you're hungry for something, if somebody give you a plate of food, whether you like it or not, you're gonna eat it because you gotta eat.
Right.
So if I like basketball and I love the game of basketball and it's really my only option as far as professional is, I have to watch it.
Right.
So what do you mean? What do you mean? You know what I'm saying? Unless I go watch old footage the whole time.
Right. I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, look, it's two of them, him and another one. Mm-hmm. They can say some wild stuff. Well, he can say some wild stuff. He can say some wild stuff. Mm-hmm. And you know, it's like, you know, it's kind of like everybody else. You say some things that I can see make sense, and then you say some things that's like, I don't even know where you at with this one, man, because you saying some stuff where it's like, yeah, all right, I'm done with this conversation. You know, like I'm done with this conversation. I don't need to.
High school is good.
I don't need, like, I don't look. I'm already frustrated with what I see when I turn the TV on. I don't need to be frustrated by hearing you talk good about it.
Look, man. But that's people just trying to fit in. It's hard to have discussion pieces in certain if folks can't keep it a bean though.
Well, see, like one of the other ones, he was like, "Man, you only talking like that because your team doing good." Because his team, the Celtics.
I mean, the truth is the truth, man. It ain't really about that. Mm-hmm. The truth is just the truth, man. The game is not positionless basketball is not. Now, I'm not gonna say positionless basketball. It depends the player. That has to be reserved for a certain player. Like LeBron,
like Jokic.
LeBron can play positionless basketball because he can do everything.
Mm-hmm. Jokic on the offensive end.
He could play position. That's only a few dudes, though, mind you.
Luka.
In your hands. Luka. You know what I'm saying? Luka. Magic Johnson. He could play. He could probably play
everything but the two.
Exactly. So that's positionless. You know, it's only a handful of these cats. Jordan couldn't play no positionless basketball
because he can't play the ones.
You might get away slide him at the 3 sometimes.
Right.
Maybe. But he's a 2.
He can't play the 4 or the 5.
Nah. So no, that's the Durant. He to me is a 3. Period. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Not no 4. Not no 2. A 3. You know what
his skills, you can get away with playing him at the 2
because in certain situations.
Mm-hmm.
But his handle,
his
handle is good, but it's not like it's good. It's good enough for the 3.
Mm-hmm.
It's elite at the 3, but it's suspect for the 2. You know what I'm saying? So
right
at the 3, he a wizard with it at the 3. But if you put him at the 2, then
where dudes has actually got quick hands and they can poke the ball loose.
Yeah, so I mean, Durant plays he's a 3. You know what I mean? So it's not many people you could say who could play a positionless basketball. Jalen Rose, because I know he made an argument about positionless basketball a little bit when it came to Skip. And Jalen Rose, to me, he's a point guard for sure. He can shoot it a little bit. I can only see him playing a point guard though. Mm-hmm. I can't see him playing nothing else. You might be able to slide him at the 3. Maybe due to his height.
Mm-hmm.
Jalen Rose might play the 1 and the 3. He can't play the 2.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But you know, it is what it is. So you want to end it there?
Yeah, we can end it there because the only other subject would have been talking about the Lions.
We can actually schedule something to talk about some football period though. Have football show.
Got you.
So we can figure that out. We can just talk football.
Yeah.
Because I know the Aaron Rodgers, he still ain't get signed yet, did he?
He trying to exercise patience, which is I think what he really doing is he trying to wait till all the chips fall where they gonna go and he can pick the best situation out of that. Which is at his age, that's not a terrible way of doing things because you making sure that you go to a situation where you set up to look to win. Mm-hmm. But you got to think about it in this sense. Teams can't sit around and wait for you.
I was about to just say, like, are you going to sit and wait for them?
Teams can't sit around. Like the Vikings, they already backed out. They were like, "Look, we done with them. We gonna like invest in our first round pick quarterback that we got from last year that got injured in the preseason. We just gonna develop him and let it be what it's gonna be."
Yeah, like, man, nobody got time for all that. Like, I mean, for real, because training camp, you gotta be ready for training camp and all that, dog. You got time to be playing these games, dog. You know what I'm saying?
And so I mean, like, he's running out of options. I mean, New York already moved on from you, right? Mm-hmm. And right now his options is looking like the Steelers or the Giants.
I'm thinking the Steelers.
Out of them two,
he probably gonna get the Steelers, dog.
Out of them two, he gonna end is look like Steelers is his best option. But is Mike Tomlin gonna go for all of this?
No, he shouldn't. But you said he gave Ben Roethlisberger some rope, so
he did give Ben Roethlisberger some rope. The difference is Ben Roethlisberger was already in the building. He was already the quarterback before he got the head coach job.
Yeah.
So it wasn't his guy. He just was winning with him.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers is not his guy neither. He would have to bring him in. But I don't know. Like Pittsburgh, I think they need to be aggressive and move up in the draft. Go ahead and do that. Because I don't know why, but like they will have to trade up to make it happen. But there's a chance that if he falls, that could be a destination for Shedeur.
Steelers?
Yeah. Because the reason why is like a whole lot of teams got rubbed the wrong way about Shedeur's confidence. Like they was talking about he arrogant and all this other stuff or whatever, whatnot.
He is.
Well, which is some people view that as his confidence, which is like, I don't think that Mike Tomlin will have an issue with that part.
Deion Sanders the same way, dog.
Right.
Honestly.
But
he was worse than that, actually.
Yeah, he was way worse than that. But people are threatened by that. Some people are threatened by that, and some people are scared to take on that problem.
Threatened by what? Because I mean, Shedeur, he's not the most arrogant dude I ever seen. He just he just got his dad in his blood. You know? He just it's a toned down version of Deion, dog.
Right. So, I mean, the good thing is Shedeur, he already got the swag and the confidence to go out there and do the job.
No, don't play with your mental. Just be you. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And so teams have a problem with that. Some teams have a problem with that. Some because they used to rookie quarterbacks coming in sounding real humble tip and everything like that. Whereas Shedeur, when they asked him questions about can he handle this, can he handle that, he's like, look, I turned around 2 colleges and everything like that. I'm used to doing this. I'm used to dealing with people talking about me, blah, 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 blah.
Is it false?
No, it ain't false.
All right, then.
It's 100% true. So it's like, I mean, but what teams want to hear is like, you know, I'll appreciate my opportunity. I'll try my best, blah, 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 blah.
But guess what? If they don't win a couple, 2-3 seasons, you need more confidence. Da, da, da. So which one you want?
Right. So I mean, look, people just hating on him just to hate on him. And I think it's partial hate towards Deion too.
It is. Deion still be talking crazy. So I mean, you know what I mean? But it is what it is. That's them. Listen, when I hear Deion Sanders talk, it is what it is. I'm like, whatever, though. I mean, I don't take it. I've watched Deion Sanders in football, baseball. He's been this way the whole time. When he had the Jerry curl coming in, he's been this way the entire time. So
right. He's been himself.
This ain't no new stuff.
Right.
He came in the league. I remember when Deion Sanders was like, all you gotta do is play some music. I'm gonna run it back every time.
Because you so like there is a such thing as going too far, but there is one experience that was told about Deion Sanders. When he was getting drafted, when he was going through his whole draft combine stuff, he was going through team interviews, and teams was asking him certain questions, and he bounced back at him. He was like, "What pick y'all drafting?" And they was like, "Yeah, we drafting at pick number 5 or 10 or something like that." Oh, I'm gonna be gone before y'all even get to me. So he just got up and walked out the meeting. Like, to me, that's going too far.
It is, but Deion Sanders backed up everything he ever said. Everything. So I mean, that's probably why they don't like him too, because he backs up his talk.
Right.
That's even worse. Right. You can't really humble the guy because the other thing is with Shedeur, it's like, because his offensive line was so trash, there's no bad situation that he's not already experienced in dealing with when it comes to protection. Yeah.
And so it's like, I'm looking at that and I'm like, okay, what is it? 3 of the top 5 teams need quarterbacks. Titans, Browns, Giants. After them, the Raiders, they don't need a quarterback right now because they just traded to get Geno, but they can get a long term. Like, if they was to bring in Geno and draft Shedeur, that's setting them up for the future. Because Shedeur, he can hold that clipboard.
Yeah.
At first. And he can learn from Geno.
Yeah.
But would they do that? I don't know if they would do that. But
I probably wouldn't go for it personally. But I mean, it really ain't up to him anyway. But I'm just saying, like,
But that's part of the reason why I said I can see him with Pittsburgh, because I don't think Mike Tomlin is threatened by that at all. Because he's confident like that himself. He's just not as arrogant or anything like that. Because he called out the coaches in the NFL when it came to them like avoiding drafting certain players, and he was like, "I always find it funny when coaches run away from coaching."
Is he lying?
Right. Exactly.
No, man, it's not none of this stuff is lies that I'm hearing. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right,
I mean, like,
right.
Is he making up something? No, it sounds like facts.
Right. So, and like, some people been trying to get Mike Tomlin fired for a while.
Good luck.
Right. Because Mike Tomlin
fire their coaches.
Yeah, because Mike Tomlin, he's never had a losing season.
Yeah, but they stick with that. One team that got job security is Pittsburgh.
Right. But I'm just saying, like, he's not one that warrants firing.
Nah, Stephen A. tried to. I hate when he does that too.
Right.
When he always trying to mention somebody getting fired, like, I can't stand it. It's like, why are you mentioning him? Of all people, like, I mean, he has a 10 seat. You can only win one Super Bowl per year. When one team wins.
I mean, so like, technically what he's saying is that Mike Tomlin should sacrifice winning seasons just so we can have a higher pick in the draft, so we can draft a quarterback.
I feel like there's this thing that some media does. They got a target sometimes. They try to, like, push a narrative towards certain coaches and stuff, or people getting fired. They do it all the time.
Right.
I don't know why they aimed it there. It's like, he don't lose. If you don't have a losing season, what's the issue here?
Right. I mean, well, they won't because they only grading it on championships.
When you have a winning season, that means you had a chance.
Right. Which is technically they haven't had no stability at the quarterback position since Roethlisberger.
And still have winning seasons?
And still have winning seasons. So,
out.
So I mean, look, Steelers have always been tough defensive team, run the ball down your throat.
Yeah.
Now, when Ben Roethlisberger was the quarterback when Tomlin first took over, and then they had Antonio Brown and Le'Veon Bell in them, that's when they changed their style up from being the typical run it down your throats to where they was gonna pass it around the yard and score about 30-something points. Whereas Pittsburgh, they used to be fine winning, scoring just 20 points because they would just run it, and then pass every now and then, but still stick to running the football. So,
yeah, man. Man, listen, dog. You know me, I ain't really, thing is, I don't like the narrative pushing. I seen that, I just peeped it, and I'm like,
right.
What, you trying to fish for content or something? I mean, because there's no reason to aim in that direction. You know what I'm saying? At all.
They run out of stuff to talk. But that's when I say, when you have, like, I don't know, they must have a list of subjects that they go through or something like that. But that's when Stephen A can step in and be like, can we talk about one of these other teams that we ain't giving enough love to?
Seriously. You know what I mean? Like, seriously. Like, because, like, he don't need to be on no firing list.
No, not at all.
Saying? Like, not even,
talk about the Cavaliers.
Talking about that. Yeah. You know what I mean? So, but we go ahead. I guess we go ahead and end it. Because I'm about to get ready to go to get up for work in the morning. We're going to have this.
Too.
I'm going to have this uploaded this weekend. So.
All right, Dan.
All right, for sure. So